Yeah. Siege. Riley. Taz. Yeah. Set me free and give me death, there ain't no other choices. When I lay down to go to sleep, I keep on hearing voices. Little whispers in my head, man, is you fake or loyal? Why no water, death is sign, baby, pick your poison. These little demons living underneath my bed, creeping. Know the real monster lives above them all, sleeping. That subtle breathing in your closet every single evening. Thought you never see me again, looks can be deceiving. When they hear the sound of the drum, they'll be saying, oh Lord, here they come. Yeah, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come. I used to think that people die because they wicked. Nowadays people want to see you dead because you gifted. Been ready for my tomb since I came up out the womb. So no matter what, I'm coming back and paying you a visit. Saw it coming, I predicted, but y'all wouldn't listen. No, you can't protect your riches if you never burn bridges. Flip pages, went places, made changes, still dangerous. Now I'm back, altercation, hold still. I make it painless how it feel, baby. When you say you love me, is it real, baby? Full speed, both hands on the wheel, baby. Young Taz coming from the Mobile, baby. You know the drill, baby. Yeah. And when you hear the sound of the drum, we'll be saying, here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come.
Gain a little bit of an advantage here. He wants to make sure that they can get the vision, and the hook lands.
It does. It's going to go on the tilt. He's in a lot of trouble. Can he get it? He's going to flash. He's fine for now. We're going to see the calling come out for Fruition, but it's not going to matter. He dashes out. We do see that Dorjan gets hurt. Loki does see a lot of trouble. Tilted did fall at the end, but the ultimate came out, and it looks like Harry X is going to get himself a kill. No, Loki doesn't actually survive.
Fruition, and now he's going in.
Tilt the flash. He gets the taunt down. Nurse is going to try to use any kind of barrier that she can get, but it's not going to be enough. The Justified does knock up Hero, and they're looking for the fight here. Nurse trying to get out of their stone gates. Would use flash from Hero, but they're going to get one. They're going to look for the other. There's the chilling fight. Hero's going to get down. Double kill going over to Loki Dosi.
Bit of extra vision.
Ultimate. Use. Yeah, it's going to hit on the cape, but he's going to be fine. Use the quickness and the granite. Just gets a 3-man charm so far. Mango getting super low, but it doesn't look like any more fights going to happen. Toad's going in. Drops trying to get the buff on himself, but he's going to snare up Indigo, but does not matter. The Impale's going to be cleansed away. And now the fight's going to go in. That's going to be 1 kill going over the side of Cetra. That's 3 kills on the side of Cetra. No one's going to go down. They're trying to make something happen. Doesn't matter. It's going to be a clean ace for Cetra.
And essentially how they're playing this.
They're going in, looking for the fight. There's the Vanguard's dead. They're trying to kill. Oh no, but they're not able to get him. The taunt comes out. Sundillian's going to flash forward. He does freeze him up. He's going to use the zone. His heroic entrance is there. You see the J pop there hard. He might be able to be taken down. Finally, he is. This might be the fight they want. Moody's in there. He uses the Cloud Gems. There's the stopwatch. Friedman's going to fall. Oh no, looks to be the next target. Meanwhile, we got Cerberus trying to push. He's doing what Tanzoni did last game.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Champions League. I'm your host tonight, going solo, Zonite, and I'm super excited for this match between Fruition and Polar Ace. And right now, we're getting ourselves closer and closer to the pick and ban phase. And you know what? I like the amount of energy that you guys have in the chat right now. You're excited for this match. We saw it last season in the finals, and we want to see it again. We want to see who's able to pull it off. Fruition's looking really good right now, but Polar Ace, they do have a couple things up their sleeve, so we may see something new here in this matchup. And now we are going to make our way over to the pick and bans. Now, for the pick and ban phase, we have a couple of bans coming out that are more targeted bans, and then you have these bans that are kind of the meta focus. You have the Skarner, who is definitely a meta focused champion. Kha'Zix, who can be meta, but at the same time is something that Dorjan has just made a total dominant champion for himself. So Polar Ace wants to make sure they take that out of the game, not allow it for the game one. Fruition have been taken out Zac, Talia, and Vladimir, 3 champions that do very well, and Vlad, being one of those champs who is in the meta right now, has done very well for himself, and Talia and Zac being those champions that are really good for Bashan in the jungle, so they want to make sure they take that away. Polar Ace is going to ban out the last champion, which is going to be Rek'Sai here, and a lot of jungle bans, very focused down on the jungle. That's 5 junglers banned out here, so both sides really making sure that Bashan and Dorjan are not able to have their primary picks. Now, we see Fruition is going to pick up that Morgana. We've seen it many, many times before. Fruition likes that Morgana-Caitlyn combo in the bot lane, so definitely something that they want to look for. Polar Ace is going to have to either grab the Caitlyn for themselves or have to call for something against that Caitlyn, and well, okay, that can work. They're going to go for the Tahm Kench, something that can eat the AD carry or an ally who is bound up. Now, Polar Ace could be looking for an Ezreal pick. They possibly could look for the Tristana, something more comfortable for Jack down there in the bot lane. And, actually, they're going to go look at the Ashe. Ashe is going to be locked in for them. Ashe, Tahm Kench, bot lane, definitely something that is very, very strong. And kind of gets stronger towards the mid and the late game. Doesn't have the greatest early game, but because you have that Tahm Kench on your side, it can give you a little bit of an advantage going into that laning phase, so you don't have to worry as much. Fruition now, they have an opportunity to grab the Caitlyn for themselves. Loki Dosi super strong on it, and then Phoenix main doesn't miss. And so having him on the Morgana, the Thresh, those kind of champions is just super dominant for Fruition, and that's exactly what they're going to go for. They're going to go for that double combo, and ooh, the Urgot did not get banned out in the first 6 bans of this game. Urgot has been that dominant force in the top lane, and something that can just totally disrupt a team fight. And the reason for that is just his ultimate with that massive fear. You have a fair amount of damage with Conqueror, and he can be a pretty good split pusher for you as he no longer has any cooldown on his W when it is max level, and you will have an infinite purge. Now, Polar Ace is going to grab the Jarvan for themselves, something else that has been very strong, and because they grabbed the Jarvan, they're probably going to want to put it in the jungle, so now they're going to have the Kindred banned out. They don't want to have Kindred outrange the Jarvan, and something that can completely cancel out the Cataclysm and that hard engage that they're possibly going to look for. They may look for a Galio, but Tahm Kench was grabbed, so Galio may be something that they want to hold back off on, and maybe grab the Orianna in the mid lane, something that goes really well with Jarvan. Corki is going to be banned out by Fruition, and we've seen many times before, hey, their losers has been so good on that Corki pick. So very wise by Fruition banning that out, making sure that Tilted, even though he's very good at what he does, you still have these champs that other players are very good at and wants to make sure that they can take that out and not allow them to have it in this game. Sejuani now going to be the final ban for Polar Ace, and Aurelia going to be the final ban for Fruition, 2 very good champions. And Sejuani being that kind of champion that goes well with these tank supports, especially supports like Braum. And Polar Ace now, because they know that Fruition has that Morgana, they don't want to have that jungler on Dorjin be that heavy frontline who can put that crowd control onto an enemy, get a pick for themselves, and so they ban away the Skarner, they ban away the Sejuani, and if you look at Polar Ace, that is 5 bans on Dorjin right now. 5. They really want to make sure that this man cannot get anything. I'm curious to see what Fruition has up their sleeve for Dorjin here, because that's a 5, 6, 7. We're looking at technically 7 jungler bans. It's more 6, mainly because Talia is not the most normal jungler. Oh wait, that's gonna be Morgana mid lane on Tilted. That's gonna be Braum down in the bot lane with Phoenix main here. They want to grab that for themselves, and it looks like Dorjin is gonna be grabbing the Xin Zhao for himself in the jungle. Cassiopeia being shown by Polar Ace as the final pick for this series here. Now, Cassiopeia can be that source of damage that they need. They could look for the Orianna, though, because they do have a really strong team fight composition here. But if they need that overtime AP damage and somebody who's able to kite around that kind of crowd control, Cassiopeia is definitely one to do that. And so, not surprised at all that they decided to look and grab that for themselves. Both comps looking great. You've got Fruition on Morgana, Caitlyn. You have the Urgot, Braum, and Xin Zhao, all great champions. You have Polar Ace with Tahm Kench, Ashe, Jarvan, Ornn, Cassiopeia, and this is gonna be a mid-game battle. In the early game, you'll see a little bit of skirmishes back and forth. You have the bind and the trap that can be pretty deadly, but because Tilted is going to be the one grabbing the Morg, we're going to see it more often in the mid game, and Tilted having that black shield on himself is actually going to be able to use that more often for his team than if it was on Phoenix main, because now you have the Morgana in the mid who's able to roam around the map and take control of what she wants. And with that black shield, you can go against that hard engage from the Ornn and the Jarvan, the double combination. And so, very wise pick on the side of Fruition. But looking at Polar Ace, you still have to worry that in the mid lane, Hey There Losers has one of his stronger champs, which is that Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia being one of the stronger champs to be able to go against these kind of hard crowd control champions, mainly because she has so much mobility to her name that she's able to just dodge, kite around. If she gets herself a QSS, it will be a lot easier over the course of the game to be able to do that. They have a lot of frontline for themselves, and if she does get herself too far forward, they do have a Tahm Kench to grab for themselves, something that is very, very helpful when it comes to getting picks or even going into a team fight like that. They may use the Tahm Kench ultimate to position themselves in a different position. And you know, with the Tahm Kench, there's a lot of plays that Polar Ace can make in this game, and I'm excited to see how this is going. Right now, the pick and ban is going on in the client, so you will only be able to see the pro draft at the very moment. But it should be about 3 to 4 minutes before we get into this first game of the series. And chat, how do we think? How is it looking? Excuse me there. Had to get a little bit of a breather. Now, looking at these compositions here, you have a lot to go on for either side. You have Polar Ace with that strong teamfight composition. You have Fruition with that very good peel and disengage or very good aggressive engage. And because Fruition has that and how dominant they've been in the Champions League, it is definitely something Polar Ace has to worry about. It is a very scary time when Fruition has the ability to be that hard engage that they want when they decide that they want to look for something specific, like an objective or maybe a kill. But also, because Polar Ace has just a lot of engage, really, not much disengage, they're going to be able to back off from a fight and then re-engage themselves, and Fruition is just going to turn the fight around so fast. And so Polar Ace, they're going to have to play this where in this early game, that Jarvan pick has to be the dominant force in this jungle. If Polar Ace is going to want to be able to take this game, they're going to have that early game dominance with the Jarvan, especially down towards the bot side of the map, making sure that Cassiopeia can handle herself against Tilted, and also the bot lane that that Braum Caitlyn is not too much of a threat for the Tahm Kench Ashe. And you know what? I would not mind cracking up a cold one right now. Voice is already getting a little bit dry, but that's all good. We're getting ready. Woo! Woo! All right. Zana, you're cute. Also, thank you very much, Tanzo. It means a lot to me. Now, take a look at the bans. Why is this so significant for this first game? Why are these bans so significant? And I talked about this right at the start. I saw some people in chat say this. It's because there's so many bans focused on that jungle. When you have all of these champions who are focused down in the jungle, it makes it a lot harder for these junglers to decide what they want to go. But at the same time, you have to say that Polar Ace, they knew what they wanted. They already knew that they wanted the Jarvan. They grabbed the Jarvan for themselves and then banned out 2 more junglers who go well against a Jarvan to make sure that Dorjan would have to go lower and lower on his list of what junglers he can grab. And, you know, Polar Ace pinpointing down one player's champion pool is going to be very difficult because, as we know, Fruition has a massive champion pool. It is very difficult to get the right amount of bans to go against Fruition because of how large each individual player has of their champion pool. Now, that can be said for Polar Ace as well, and Fruition has to be cautious about that. But the reason why we say that more about Fruition is because we haven't seen that as much out of other teams. When you look at Fruition, you see these teams, they're playing these consistent champions over and over, but at the same time, if you take a look at it, there's a lot of times where they can flex pick, they can move them around, they can work around a specific ban, or if an enemy picks the champion that they want, that kind of thing. And I think Polar Ace did very well with their picks here, and Fruition did very well. Both sides did very well in the end, but it's hard to say. You know, Polar Ace just wanted to make sure that Dorjan would stay down, and even with the Sin Zhao grab, I think it's still Dorjan is still going to be that strong force in the jungle for them. And you know, let's take one look at the summoner spells. You guys cannot see them at the very moment, but we are about 1 minute and 40 seconds into about to get into this game 1. Now, looking at the summoner spells, we see a couple of summoner spells that is going to be both top and mid are going to take teleport. Both junglers will take smite. No kidding. Both ADCs will take heal. But now the Tahm Kench is going to take cleanse. And that is a wise pick by Tahm Kench because he's going against so much hard CC. Taking that cleanse for himself allows him to eat an ally, use the cleanse, walk out of a fight freely without a problem, or even just get himself out of the fight and save his own life. Yeah, I know you cannot see the client. I'm very, very sorry. That just the way this is set up at the very moment. I wish you could, but that's why I'm trying to explain it as best as I can for you so you can see or picture it for yourself. Top and mid have teleport flash, jungle, smite flash, AD carries, heal flash, and then in the bot lane, even lower in the bot lane, the supports, you have Braum with ignite flash and Tahm Kench with that cleanse flash. And going over it, nothing really too drastic except really focusing on why that Tahm Kench has that cleanse. And so it can be very helpful for them in the bot lane, just going up against that Braum Caitlyn. I would not be surprised to see Morgana and Xin Zhao keep mid lane pressured as much as they can, so then Tilted can make his way down to the bot lane and make a roam for his team, getting Loki Dosi and Phoenix main even further in this game. All right, and it does seem like we are going to get into this next match. Get into this first match of the first series of the day. There we go. All right. Gaiken is usually the one to do this kind of thing, but I'm going to take it over for this one. All right, in the top lane, we got now on the Urgot, you have Dorjin on the Xin Zhao, you have Tilted on Morgana, Loki Dosi and Phoenix main on the Caitlyn Braum. On the other side of the map, you have Ace, Juju on the Ornn, Bashan on the Jarvan, Hey There Losers on the Cassiopeia, Jack on the Ashe, and Booper on the Tahm Kench. Woo! A little bit of breather. I'm excited for this match. Who in chat, raise your hands. Who's excited for this matchup here? Guys, this is last season's. Oh, wait. Lethal Temple Jarvan? Wait a minute. Hold up. We got a problem. Okay, this game just got interesting. This game got more interesting now. We have the Lethal Tempo Jarvan in the jungle. Instead of getting the Electrocute or even looking for the... Oh my gosh. Gaiken. Oh. Alright, I forgot it. But Electrocute is definitely something you can take on the Jarvan. There's other runes that you can take. I just don't remember the names at the very moment for some reason. Both sides are going to set up 5 across, making sure that they have possible vision of the enemy in case they want to invade. It doesn't look like either team wants to invade whatsoever. Just want to wait for the minions to come along. And you know, looking at these team comps here, I'm really excited to see how Polar Ace is going to be playing this team comp. But just looking at Fruition's team comp looks just so strong to me. Loki Dosi has shown many times before that he's really good on that Caitlyn. And then Tilted on that Morgana can be a huge threat because Morgana does a fair amount of damage, and Tilted plays that roam game very, very well and gives Fruition even more of an advantage throughout the entire game. Ward did get placed down by Ornn, who had to make sure that Morgana wasn't going to look for a bind there. Both sides are going to start on the top side of the map. Xin Zhao is going to go for his blue buff. Jarvan is going to go for his red buff here. And yeah, now you have Tilted with the Glacial Augment in the mid lane. He has a lot of damage, and he can also be that extra support with the slow, bind, and the black shield. Beautiful combination. I just like it personally. The Morgana in the mid lane is something that I thoroughly enjoy. And now Jarvan actually went to his red and immediately down to the bot side scuttle. They knew where the Xin Zhao was, so they wanted to make sure that they would just kind of take either side of the map scuttle, and then he can focus on his bottom half of the map. And Xin Zhao could actually make his way up to the top, but it is warded. Both entrances to the top side of the map for Jarvan and Polar Ace is warded at the very moment, so it'd be Dorjin would be spotted out. Makes a wise decision, just goes back into his own jungle to clear it out. Excuse me. If you look at how the vision control has gone in this game already, Polar Ace has taken control of the bot side of the map. You have 3 wards across the river. Fruition did have that 1 ward in the river brush for themselves, but it really does seem like Polar Ace wants to make sure that Dorjin cannot gank the spot lane. The only way he can really is through the tri-bush, and that is the best way you can do it. Dorjin now making his way to the Cassiopeia. Hopefully the directed camera will move it forward for me. Or not. Or we're just going to stay at the bot lane. And it doesn't look like anything happened in the mid lane anyway. So Dorjin's just going to make his way down to the bot side. And very, very wise for him to back off there. If you tried to go in, hey there losers, you had Bashan on the other side of the wall. But Now, because Xin Zhao is on the bottom half of the map, these wards should be going away in a few seconds and could make an opportunity for him to gank down to the bot lane with Loki Dosi and Phoenix main here. Oh, excuse me if you hear those noises. That's me muting my mic so that I am able to take a deep breath or cough. Very sorry about that one. Now, Dorjan making his way to the bot side of the map. Jarvan did back off here. He does have item advantage. If they do find each other in the jungle, that is going to be a favored fight for Bashan. And if you actually look at it, Bashan went lethal tempo, but now he's going tank. It's going to tank Jarvan with lethal tempo. Oh, you like those sniffles? It's good, right? Now, the first dragon that is going to be up, cannot see at the very moment. I was going to move it, but I forgot that your camera is my camera. Jarvan down on the top side of the map did get spotted out. Fruition knows that he is there, and so they could have Dorjan maybe make a play or just back off here. And Fruition's bot lane realize, you know what, Jarvan's top, we can pressure this lane and hopefully get Jack to lose some CS here. Very wise of them to do that, because now the gold advantage goes even higher and higher to them. They can try to get this first plate, get a little bit of damage onto the Tom Kench. Tom Kench took, I'd say 25%. Ornn battling back and forth, but now a little bit. Got him down to half health. Ooh, now 25. He did pop a biscuit. He has the rune to get it immediately. Georgia now sitting on the bot side of the map, wanted to look for something for his team, but nothing there. He is going to back and be able to equal out the items to this Jarvan and actually be able to get himself halfway through to his jungle item. Ocean Dragon is going to be the first one up. Xin Zhao making his way up to the top lane, and he actually could meet up the Jarvan. Jarvan is just sitting there in the brush. Was spotted out, and now Jarvan's going to make his way on over. They do realize where the Jarvan is, pinging him, ferociously pinging him over there on the top side. And both junglers here are just waiting it out. I think Dorjan making sure that Bashan is not going to look for a gank onto now, and nothing much going to happen there. Looking at the bot side of the map now, you have the Ocean Drag up. Jarvan's going to want to clear his top side as fast as possible and then possibly make it to where they could look for that dragon play. Pings have been going out. Dorjan, I believe, was spotted or they just notified that he could possibly be there. So Juju playing it safe, being careful, going to back off here. And if Urgot pushes this up, Juju might... Oh, actually, Juju's going to stay here. He's going to push up the rest of the wave. He is full health. Doesn't have to worry about it too much. And this game is kind of at a stalemate, you know. Welcome to the Korean amateur scene. Welcome to the what is it? LPL? Oh, LCK. LPL is China. LCK. Welcome to the LCK Academy. Now, both junglers are clearing out their top side. Why? They want to make sure that the camps that they go for are on the bottom side of the map. When this dragon gets more and more attention. As soon as this dragon gets more and more attention, both sides are going to want to look for this dragon, as it is an ocean drag, very good for either side. Hey, their losers definitely wants it for himself, Cassiopeia being a champ that uses a lot of mana and can be very good on her. And so, clearing up the top side, they can make their way down to the bot side, position themselves, and Fruition, because of the way their bot laners are, the Caitlyn Braum, they're able to pressure the bot lane, push it up for their team, and take control of it. And now you see Tilted as well, pushing out the mid lane, making sure that Fruition has control of this bottom river. And it does seem like Polar Ace has pretty good vision control for themselves. They're trying to push it out, but it is very difficult with both of these lanes being pushed on forward. Scuttle is going to be picked up for Dorjan there. Complete control of the river now. And now, Fruition can just be like, all right, we're just going to put the minion wave in the middle, and we're not going to have to worry about it too much. And Tilted's going to try to go for a little damage and some plates here, and the bot lane's just going to kind of be at that stalemate. They don't need to worry about it at all. They have the vision control. Polar Ace at some point is going to have to decide if they want to make their way down to the, or make their way up or down, based if you're Cassiopeia or not, to that dragon to try to clear out some vision for themselves, or do they want to look for a potential gank at the bot lane with Bashan? Dorjan actually going to be doing that for himself. I don't think he was spotted. There's a couple pings back and forth. And we've seen how strong in this early game, how Braum can be for a team. And it does help to have Booper on that Tahm Kench, but that is only one person being targeted out and could be very catastrophic for them. And at the moment, since Fruition realizes, you know what, we have the pressure, even if we do have Bashan make his way down to the dragon, there's no chance for Polar Ace to do anything, so they're going to go for this Ocean Dragon for themselves. Dorjan is going to be able to pick it up at 9 minutes 30 seconds. That is the first objective picked up for Fruition. Braum now going across the wall. Jarvan is in the brush. They may look for a flag and drag, but they're not going to. Their control ward was too far away, didn't pick up that ward. It does have one ward, but now Bashan has to walk around and is going to be spotted. Urgot's going to miss his disdain. Nice knock up there from Juju. They're going to have a little bit of a skirmish. They're going to look for more Bellows Breath. Going to deal some extra damage, getting now down half health there. And Juju just putting the pressure on now. And with starting that Bramble Vest really hurts now, having that Purge always up, just because he's going to be consistently doing damage to himself in the early game. Later on in the game, it won't be too bad for him, but early on in this game, it can really be difficult for now to do anything against that item. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. We'll quickly fix that for you if I can find it. There we go. There we go. I'm very sorry about that. There's a couple of things that I forget to change when I do cast versus when I play my own game. I don't usually have that on, so thank you very much. No problem. Now, both junglers are on the top side of the map. Jarvan does want to look for something onto now, but they both have both top laners have ultimates and junglers. And if they fight, that is definitely going to be in favor of Fruition with Dorjan and Now, just because of the champions they have. That Xin Zhao and Urgot is definitely stronger. Braum's going to look for a little bit of damage on the Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench going to have to use his cleanse and get away. Top lane now is putting a lot of damage onto Juju, gets him down to half health, but Fruition getting a little aggressive there and getting the cleanse out of Booper. Now they can look for another thing. Yes, they are. They're going to look for the ultimate. Nice ultimate. Flashes away. Booper is going to get stunned up. Oh, Ash is going to try to turn this around. Heal's going to be used by Loki Dosi. Can they get him? No. He's going to flash on away. Ultimate. Now we can see a bind. Nice job by Tilted there. They're trying to get onto Bashan. He does have the stopwatch, but he is going to be pinned down. Urgot's going to be able to pick up the first blood onto Hey There Losers. Double kill for Fruition. Alright. Yeah, there's a lot of settings that I don't actually play with. I forgot about that. Yeah, very well played by Tilted there. Being able to get Bashan locked down with that bind, following up with his ultimate. Very well played by Fruition there. And then Fruition's bot lane, they went for the engage. They looked to see if they could do something. Almost picked up a kill, but then it was turned around by Jack. And now mid lane, they're going to pop the Herald. They want to get as many plates as they can. 2 plates are going to be picked up for Dorjan and Tilted. That is really good for them. 2 plates in this early game. There is only 1 more minute before the plates are going to go away. And that's when we start seeing turrets fall. As soon as these plates go away, those turrets are just going to get melted down by these teams. Now, oh, nice bind. Polar Ace there has a lot of vision in their own jungle here on the bottom half of the map. they really want to make sure that Dorjin can't use the blast plant to get over and look for a gank, possibly in the bot lane. But now Dorjin is going to set himself on the top side of the map. Juju is trying to pressure on forward. Dorjin could look for something with now, and yeah, they might look for it here. But Sean is walking away from the top side of the map, so they wouldn't be counter ganked at all. Dorjin's actually just going to back off here. Juju is going to be too difficult for them to kill. If anything, he does have his flash up, so he doesn't have to worry too much there. Dragon is going to be coming up very, very soon. I think it's going to come up in about 2 minutes to 3. What, you don't like the bind of the blue buff? The bind of the blue buff is something, okay, whatever. I can hear Gaikin's laugh for me. Ooh, nice Q onto Jack there. Thought they were going to look for something, but looks like Phoenix Main now just trying to pressure away the bot lane so that they can't get CS for themselves. Loki Dosi at a significant CS lead at the very moment. And Fruition's bot lane just showing up in the Champions League every single series that they play. Super dominant. And now Dorjin going to pop on over into the Dragon Pit and look for something here. Bashan is on the other end of the turret. May want to look for a gank onto the bot lane, or go back to this Dragon to realize that Dorjin is actually doing it. Don't think, yep, now Dorjin is spotted out, and they want to make sure that they can grab this. Fruition wisely pushing up the bot lane to make sure that they can get this second Ocean for themselves. Bind does miss by Tilted, but it does look like Fruition going to be able to take this for themselves. Nice glitch augment. Bind does miss. Oh, ultimate was blocked. Very well played by Tilted there. And nice dodge there by Hey There Losers. Probably would have been killed by the follow-up ultimate from Tilted there. So not much that Hey There Losers can do there. After that, turret is going to be taken down. That is the first turret of the game. And very, very strong lead for Fruition here. They have a 3k gold lead for themselves. And, you know, having that mid lane turret down means that Tilted can become that roaming, unstoppable force. And it is going to be very difficult for Polar Ace to try to keep up with that, as Hey There Losers still has to worry about that mid lane turret for themselves. Juju's going to try to go in on Now. Now's going to use the disdain, and is going to get knocked up for it. But Sean going to follow up with another. Oh my goodness. Urgot going to be taken down so fast there. Juju is going to be only one using his ultimate there, but Sean didn't have to use his ultimate. There was no worries about it. Disdain was used. He doesn't have flash, so there's no way for him to get out of that one. Now bot lane pushing up. Loki Dosi and Phoenix Main want to make sure that they get this turret for themselves. And now that opens up the map so much more for Fruition here, giving them more and more of a lead into this game. As soon as the top turret does fall, or even a second tier turret or tier 2 turret falls, it can help them a lot more. Knockup does land onto Dorjin. Ooh, lots of damage. Dorjin's actually going to go back in, but Sean is on the other side. Dorjin trying to get some damage on the Juju. Doesn't realize how much damage Juju does and has to flash away. Both support, not supports. I keep thinking Morgana's a support. Tilted and Booper clearing out vision for their team, making sure that the river is in their control, or at least has no vision on it. Now Tilted is going to use the bind. Bind does miss. They want to look to get this control ward for themselves. Completely fine. A little bit of a slow on to Hey There Losers, but bind was already used, so he cannot follow up with anything more there. And having the bot and top switch is going to be very strong for Fruition here, as Loki Dosi and Phoenix Main have a huge lead over Jack and Booper right now, and so they're able to push out the wave without a problem. Don't have to worry about the Tahm Kench and the Ashe, just because they know for a fact that they'll win every kind of duel. Phoenix Main now pushing on forward. Jack does get a little, or takes a little bit of damage there, but not to worry. It's only the Braum. Now, junglers are going to swap sides. Dorjin's going to go down to the bot side. He's going to get whatever CS he can. And Jarvan's now going to pick up his red. Maybe look for a gank onto the 80 carry of Fruition here. And it can give him a little bit of a lead jump on forward. Phoenix Main trying to possibly set up for something, or just push Jack away from the CS as much as possible. Still has a pretty good lead for his team here. on that CS, and Polar Ace, Fruition playing this really well, and then Polar Ace able to pick themselves up a kill onto Now up in that top lane. But the only thing that I can see Polar Ace needing to do right now is try to figure out how they can control this bot lane. They got to get Jack stronger into this game. They need to make sure that he can equal out Loki Dosi right now, because neither of them have kills or assists. It is fully focused on that CS, and they really need to make sure that they get their AD carry ahead. Because they have Tom Kench and Booper, they don't have to worry too much about the CS or CC. And now 4 members of Fruition are going to move up to the top lane here. Tilted did get a little bit of a slow onto Jack. A little bit more. Bind does land. Lots of damage. Jack already down to half health. And now the consume has been used by Booper. He cannot consume anymore. Bind does land. Juju uses the E to get away and get himself out of harm's way. It is a 4 versus 4 up here in the top lane. Bind does land on the Booper, taking a little bit of damage, but he is pretty tanky with that Merc Treads. But another Bind does almost hit. Not able to lock him down there.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Now both teams sitting up in the top lane here. Fruition trying to push out this top lane turret. If they can get more and more of it, they should be able to just completely take over Polar Ace's jungle and not allow them to do anything. Now both sides are going to back off here. They did get the tier 1 for the top lane. That is 3 turrets to 0 for Fruition. And they're going to go for their 3rd dragon here. And if they get this 3rd drag, that is 6 objectives to 0 here against Polar Ace. And 2 kills to 1. Fruition playing this super well and being able to use that kind of macro play they have. Coach Matt giving them the advice, being able to push on forward in this game to hopefully lead them to a 1-0 start in the series. Yeah, the timer on the dragon and the bottom left frame, a little bit messed up. Hopefully we'll see some patches sooner or later by Riot Games to fix that one. But for now, we've got a good game here. Bot side of Polar Ace pushing out the top lane, getting themselves some CS. Jack is still behind by 20 CS here, and he's been pretty significant. Double teleport here. Tilted and now gonna look teleport. Flash onto Booper. Booper does have to flash away. Ultimate from Jack. Urgot with the beautiful executed. Oh, nice bind there. And he's gonna be able to use the fear for his team. Gonna be able to pick up a 2nd kill for himself. Tilted is going on forward. Bashan is gonna get locked down. There's the 2nd kill for sure. Bind does miss. Ornn is gonna use the amazing ultimate. Oh, gets 3, but there's not much follow-up that they can have. The vision is not in their... Oh my goodness. Tilted is on fire right now. Yes, he does land another bind. They want to look for another fight here. Nice slow. Bashan does jump onto Tilted, but he does have the Cataclysm. He's going to use it onto Tilted. Tilted's going to be taken down, but it does not matter. Polar Ace is going to be taken out and get aced. Fruition picking up. Now hopefully the Baron soon. Tilted with the beautiful play there, but you cannot put down anyone else on Fruition. The whole team of Fruition here have been playing so well and are able to now push themselves even further into this first game and get themselves the lead that they need, snowballing this game slowly but surely. And the double teleport from Now and Tilted saying, you know what, we need to make a fight here because Baron's up. And if we make this fight, we'll be able to pick up 2 kills for ourselves and then move on over. And instead of just those 2 kills, they picked up 5 and were able to pick up the Baron for... Oh, wait. Yeah, they're able to pick up the Baron for themselves. I got a little bit confused there. Now they are going to split this up on the map. Tilted is going to be top lane. He may rotate mid in just a second. Loki Dosi and Loki Dosi and Phoenix Man going to be able to push out the top lane here without any problems. And actually, they're going to put 4 people on the top side here. They know how strong they are, and now sitting in the bot lane against Juju, there's nothing not really much Juju can do there to clear out the wave, just because of how strong they are. Slow does land. Cassiopeia is going to get bound up, but it doesn't matter. Booper's going to be able to beat him. Nice Cataclysm. Loki Dosi's going to flash away, use the QSS. George is going to go on in. He's taking a lot of damage, but it is being blocked. However, Ashe is not going to be able to pick up the kill on the Georgian because of that beautiful ultimate from him. And they want to push this forward with that Baron. Now Juju wants to retaliate. Braum with the beautiful wall blocking it. Vine does land on the Booper. He gets very low. Shield almost gets him down, but saves his life. Excuse me, Loki almost gets him down. The shield does save his life. But now because Juju made his way up to the top lane, now is pushing the bottom half of the map, and they're going to have to look for something here. Slow does land. Now another bind onto Juju. Juju getting held down. The rest of the team just trying to stop the back so that now can push on forward. Oh, the nice shot from Loki Dosi, getting the headshot there from downtown. And the rest of Fruition pushing out top lane, trying to get these backs to make sure that now can keep on pushing the bot lane here.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Now is pushing this up. Juju and Bashan making his way over. Juju trying to defend it as long as he can. But the rest of Fruition going to rotate over to the mid lane. They got the top lane. They got the bot lane turrets pushed up. And the minions are making their way over to Polar Ace's base. And they want to keep on snowballing what they have. They know they're in this lead, so they don't want to take any chances to let Polar Ace get back into this game. Now, using the extra movement speed, ultimate still does land. Even the flash gets him. Juju is going to be taken down. This is going to be a 4v5, and Polar Ace is going to have to run away scared right now. Slow does land. Bind. Oh, almost lands there from Tilted. Tilted very well with these binds throughout this game. Dorjan does not have his ultimate. He gets it very soon. Braum with the jump. Gets a little bit of slow onto Hey There Losers, but all they can do right now is try to clear bind lands into Bashan. Not much follow-up they can have there for them, so they're just going to back off here. They picked up a kill. They picked up the bot lane inhibitor for themselves. Now they're going to be able to pick up the 4th dragon of the game. This first game is being dominated by Fruition. That game intense. Oh, I love this Twitch chat. Now, Polar Ace is going to have to try and come back in this game by slowly getting Hey There Losers and Jack stronger. Bashan going tank, Juju being Juju, Bashan, and Booper being those 3 tanks for them. It's going to be very difficult if Polar Ace wants to try to come back in this one, but and that's just because Fruition is so dominant right now. That Fruition is so strong. And I have to say, looking at this game right now, Tilted is on fire. Tilted barely misses a bind. He gets great slow for his team, and then puts a lot of pressure on the enemy, allowing them to just push on forward in a fight, and then not to put down the rest of... Oh, actually, Hey There Loser's going to put a little damage onto Tilted. Phoenix making a jump on forward, making sure Tilted is going to be protected there. Now, shield is down. Juju wants to look for something else. Tilted is going to flash away from that, wants to make sure he doesn't get locked down. Ooh, Braum is going to jump on forward. Hey There Loser's going to be eaten up. Now is pushing himself on forward. Nice disdain. Booper's going to have to flash away. They're going to look for more damage. Bashan is on the back line, and Jack doing a lot of damage to now. Bashan taking a lot of damage. Cataclysm is on Caitlyn, but it doesn't matter. But Phoenix May pushing on forward. Dorjan looking for something else with that extra damage. Nice Cassio ult. They're trying to turn this around. Jack with the nice ultimate on the Phoenix May. Doesn't matter though. Now with a nice disdain, and he's just going at it, purging him down. And you see the shot. Is he gonna be able to take him down? Loki Dosi, no, it's not gonna be able to pick. Hey There Losers. Hey There Losers gets very low. He's gonna have to put himself back into the base. Dorjan does get low. I think Dorjan's going to be taken now. GA is going to be there for him. However, it does not matter. That is 4 people on the side of Fruition still up. Bind lands onto Juju. Juju taking so much damage. And it doesn't matter. They're tethered down. Hey There Losers just getting locked down. Tilted is on fire. And this game is going to be picked up by Fruition. Game 1 in this series. Oh my goodness. Now, Bashan is going to try to defend for his team. The rest of Fruition is pretty low. And they actually won't be able to... I don't think they can actually end here. They're going to have to back off, reset, and hopefully make another fight for themselves here, and then Oh, you know what? They might make their way to Baron, or they could turn a fight in a bush and maybe look for a pick. But
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
very well played there by Fruition, pushing out. And yeah, they're going to look for this Baron here. Now it's going to teleport into the Baron pit for them. And Polar Ace has to do something here. Now Tilted going to use that slow, trying to bind up Bashan. Bashan's going to get knocked up once again. Dorjan's going to be able to pick up the Baron for them, and they might want to fight once again. But they are very low. Ultimately, it's on over. Dorjan's going to flash over the wall. Dorjan getting very aggressive. He wanted to look for somebody, but nobody was on the other side of the wall, and it did not matter. Now pushing his way on forward, trying to get some crowd control. Excuse me, crowd control. What the? Get some wards cleared for his team to make sure that Polar Ace doesn't have the vision in the jungle. But right now with with Fruition having this Baron, having this huge lead. Okay, you got a snowman. Look at the bottom ball. Think of the massive bottom snowman. Like, you got that massive snowball. That's Fruition right now, tumbling down a hill, coming right at you, and all you can do is stand there. And Polar Ace, that's what it's looking like right now. All they can do is stand there. It's so big, they can't dodge it. It does not matter. Fruition just so dominant in this game. Now is on his way to the top lane. The rest of Fruition is trying to look for something here. They don't want to engage just yet until Now is here to be that extra front line. Tilted is just landing bind after bind after bind. And Polar Ace trying to keep the waves pushed away from them, but there's just so much clear from Loki and Tilted, and then also Tilted with that pressure, added pressure, slow, and the bind. Bind does miss. He will have it in an extra 2 seconds. It doesn't matter. Tilted is going to get locked down. Jack, however, is going to be able to try to get onto it. Oh, Phoenix Maid with the beautiful, so much damage being blocked, but Jack is actually just gunning him down. Booper gonna eat Jack and try to get him away. Disdain used, pushing himself on forward. Now wants to get onto Booper and get this game over with. Dorjan, 4 people of Fruition still alive. Loki Dosi, this game is over. This is game 1 over to Fruition. Woo-hoo-hoo! What a game. Game 1. Game 1. Game 1, people. Game 1. It's game 1. We have the rest of this series and another series. And we just got that game. I'm excited for the next games. I'm excited for the next series. And very well played by Fruition in the end there. Being able to slowly, over the course of the game, be able to pick up objective after objective after objective. And Polar Ace not being able to do anything. Polar Ace is going to have to step up their game when it comes to that macro play if they want to try to do anything against Fruition here. Totally dominant. Just outstanding from Fruition here in the end. And that is going to be, or now we are going to move on into the intermission so that we can get on to game 2 faster, just because I'm super stoked. And I think we're all ready to see that one. Now, I'll see you in 5 minutes. Oh, you can hear me. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was disgusting. Uh-oh. Scuff stream. Scuffed.
every one of them is giving up and giving in. Tell me, in this house of mine, nothing ever comes without a consequence of cost. Tell me, will the stars align? Will heaven step in? Will it save us from our sin? Will it? Cause this house of mine stands strong. That's the price you pay. Leave behind your heart and cast away. Just another product of today. Rather be the hunter than the prey. And you're standing on the edge, face up, cause you're a natural. A beating heart of stone. You gotta be so cold to make it in this world. Yeah, you're a natural. Living your life control. You gotta be so cold. Yeah, you're a natural. Will somebody let me see the light within the dark trees shadowing what's happening? Looking through the glass, found the wrong within the past, knowing we are the youth. Caught until the beast out of world without the peace, facing a bit of the truth, the truth. That's the price you pay. Leave behind your heart and cast away. Just another product of today. Rather be the hunter than the prey. And you're standing on the edge, face up, cause you're a natural. A beating heart of stone. You gotta be so cold to make it in this world. Yeah, you're a natural. Living your life control. You gotta be so cold. Yeah, you're a natural. Deep inside me, I'm fading to black, I'm fading. Took an oath by the blood of my hand, won't break it. I can taste it. The end is upon us, I swear. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. Natural, a beating heart of stone. You gotta be so cold to make it in this world. Yeah, you're a natural. Living your life control. You gotta be so cold. Yeah, you're a natural. Yeah, you're a natural. I've been up, I've been down, seen the world from the ground, but I hear the drumming. Now my veins are pumping. Scrape my knees, bruise my heart. Where you end, not where you start. I see them running, cause they see me coming. I'm done with the noise, the last is the pain, but I'll use my voice, my turn to sing. You know that all my life I have been waiting for
I think that was the most awkward 5 minutes of my life, all right? It happens, okay? And I think we are getting very, very close to the second game here of this series. We have Fruition versus Polar Ace. A very, very good matchup, and mainly because we saw him last season in the finals. Definitely something that has come back up into the Champions League, and we wanted to see how they would perform again against each other. And right now it is 1-0 on the side of Fruition, playing that first game so dominantly, being able to pick themselves up so many kills early on, and also take control of the game through those objectives. That kind of objective control that that Fruition had was so dominant that there was no chance for Polar Ace to try to contest it because the way they played it. Fruition's macro was a lot better in that game against Polar Ace, and if Polar Ace wants to try to go and be able to hold up against that kind of play, they need to step it up a little bit more in that early part of the game, because as we all know right now, League of Legends is definitely about that early to mid game, and so if you can take hold of that early game and slowly make the snowball and get it bigger and bigger, you will become unstoppable. And that's what Polar Ace has to do here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for an early game composition, something like the Lucian, something like maybe the Kalista in the mid lane. You have something something that I've wanted to see and something that I'm interested in is possibly a more Jace play. I've seen a couple of Jace play, but it hasn't gone the greatest for some teams. But I want to see if Now picks up the Jace for themselves, or even if Tilted does in that mid lane. That's something interesting that I would be excited to see. And then looking on the side of Fruition, if Dorjan doesn't get 7 bans towards him, I would love to see possibly the Kha'Zix if that does get through, which I don't think it will. Or I would love to see something like the Skarner or Rek'Sai, something Dorjan has just been totally dominant on. And maybe even give Bashan that Talia. Talia is definitely something that isn't really the most meta jungler, but is something that Bashan is pretty good at and also has shown to be good at. So I'm curious to see if they're going to let that through, or even Zac. Zac is another champ that Fruition did ban out, mainly targeting Bashan just because he has shown time and time again that he's really good on it. And also, chat, are we going to see any other bans not on the jungler? Are we going to see any bans that's going to be focused towards maybe just something else, maybe a different lane now? Huh? You got 7. Come on. We want a little bit of change here. All right, well, whatever. Something else that I do possibly want to see is Loki Dosi and Phoenix Main getting that Kate Morgana together in the bot lane instead of having the Kate Braum. Definitely something that was very strong for them in that first match, but I am interested in seeing once again if that play can hold up like they've shown time and time again. Also, Jack was pretty dominant later in the game, and Booper on that Tom Kench, able to save him and keep him alive for as long as possible. With Jack and Booper, it was honestly that was their last hope, was that Ashe and Tom Kench. That was definitely their last hope. And with that being their last hope, it was difficult for them to be able to come back on it because of Tilted's Morgana, and then the really good range and protection from Braum and Caitlyn. But even with the shield up from Phoenix Main, you saw how much damage was being output by them. Now, I think we're going to get into the pick and ban very, very soon here. But yeah, I think we have a little bit of bug in the pro draft at the very moment. In the chat, I want to see what champions do you want to see played right now by a specific player. Type in the player, type in the champion. I want to know your thoughts. I want to get, okay, that's weird. I don't want to get in your head. I just want to know what you have for me on the champion and the player. You want Loki Dosi on the Draven, Tilted on Ahri. We have seen Tilted on Ahri. It is definitely a very strong pick for him, and Tilted did very well on it. Dorjan's Kha'Zix, ooh, you know, we all want that one. That's a good one. The number 1 Kha'Zix player in NA, that's good. We want that. What else we want here? Now on the Scion. Come on, man. Now's been stuck on the tanks for a while. He's kind of got to get kicked off. Get something new, all right? Well, unless he likes it, you know. There's not a problem with that if he likes it. But Phoenix on the Thresh. Yes, Phoenix Main, definitely something spectacular when it comes. Ooh, make sure I don't have that. Spectacular when it comes to the Thresh, and also being able to land so many skill shots. His skill shots in general are insane. The man, Phoenix Main, I believe I was told, I think I was told this, and I hope Phoenix Main doesn't mind me saying this. I think Phoenix Main plays on a laptop, everybody. Who else here plays on a laptop? Because this man competes in the Nightfall Champions Leagues while playing on a laptop, while being able to get himself to a high rank. Give this man a desktop, this man's challenger. Come on. Alright, well, that's fair. People proving me wrong in chat. Hey, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. I was on a Mac until... Okay, now you're just crazy. Alright, now we're going to get into the pick and ban here and stop with my craziness. Well, that's not the right pick and ban. Alright, now, Polar Ace is going to be on the blue side this game. Fruition is going to be on the red side. Polar Ace is going to ban out the Kazakhs right away. And Fruition is going to make sure that Bashan is not going to have that Talia once again. Fruition is definitely going to look at banning that those two main junglers for Bashan, which are the Talia and the... Talia and the Zac. They are both going to be banned out. Lucian is going to be banned out away from Loki Dosi. I wouldn't be surprised if Polar Ace bans Morgana here, just because how we've seen Phoenix Maid play it, and also last game Tilted was dominating on that Morgana pick, and not missing very many binds whatsoever. And Polar Ace is actually going to make sure... Yeah, they're going to make sure that Tilted is not going to be allowed to get onto that Ahri here. Fruition showing the Evelynn Morgana. Okay, we're getting something different. Fruition's going to be the one going to ban out the Morgana pick. Polar Ace now has Urgot hovered. Urgot being that strong champion in the top lane we've seen many, many times before. And we get 13 seconds until we see if he's going to grab for himself. Now, I'm interested if Fruition right here is going to grab the Hecarim. Hecarim is definitely a champ that can go up against Urgot, and is a very good champ. Well, he could be flexed either way. He could go top lane, or he could go in the jungle. Definitely a strong pick either way. But Fruition is going to go with the Rakan Xayah, the Lovers bot lane, Loki Dosi and Phoenix Main. Oh my goodness, I love that combo. The Xayah Rakan combo, definitely something special and something entertaining to watch. And on the two of the best players, some of the best players that we have in this Champions League. Now, Polar Ace is going to show the second... Okay, they're going to grab the Leona. And then on the third pick, they are not showing anything yet. Leona is going to be grabbed. Leona can do really well for them going up against the Rakan. And something that can be a pretty good lockdown for them and kind of that frontline engage protection. And I know that doesn't make sense, engage protection, but what I mean by that is because of how she engages and then gets the enemy team to focus on her, that's her so-called protection, because then the enemy team is not focusing on the enemy backline or her backline, so it does not matter. Kalista is going to be the AD carry for Polar Ace. They know that Rakan Xayah is going to go bot lane, so they're just going to grab their bot lane for themselves so they can try to see what the rest of Fruition is going to grab. It does look like Dorjan is going to be on this Rek'Sai here. Rek'Sai is just so strong right now. Definitely a tier 1 champion at the very moment. Very strong all over. If you've seen the professional play, if you've seen Champions League, if you played solo queue, Rek'Sai has been that dominant force in the jungle for a couple patches now. LeBlanc being the next ban for Polar Ace, making sure that Fruition's Tilted cannot get his comfortable picks here with the Ahri and LeBlanc being taken out. Lucian was the ban, but it doesn't matter because the Rakan and Xayah are picked up by Fruition. And I'm curious what they're going to go for here as the last ban. They could look for a Lissandra ban just to make sure. And, they're going to go for a Kali and make sure Tilted or Now cannot have this for themselves. And you know what? Now that I say it, just said it, and it's not being banned, Fruition can look for the Lissandra pick here. Tilted has played it many, many times before. It has been very strong for them and also been a kind of champion that allows them to get this lead. Kennen is going to be grabbed for Now. Now has showed his dominance on that Kennen and his kind of force. And, you know, if he does grab the Orianna or the Lissandra for themselves, it could be really wise for them. But it looks like Polar Ace may grab it for their mid laner here. Hey, they're losers. Or they might flex for their jungler Bashan, grabbing the Kindred instead. Trying to decide between which one they want to go for here in this game too. But I think not sure. They are going to get down to 0. It is going to be the Kindred locked in for Bashan here in the jungle. Polar Ace now going to grab their last champion here. But that Kindred in the jungle is just something super strong and something I've seen Bashan play before. Super confident on it. He's also able to kind of get a early game lead if he plays around the correct lanes. And because they have that early game lead already with Callista Leona, he can play around the mid lane with Hey There Losers back on the Cassiopeia. Something definitely Hey There Losers is super comfortable on. And not the most meta champion right now, but definitely something that can be a very viable and strong pick for your team. Fruition now still have the Lissandra open. They may also look for, you know, something interesting that I would want is the Zed, but that's just me. Zed is always kind of that fun champ, and it looks like, ooh, yeah, is it going to be Tilted? Tilted is going to be on the Aurelia here in the mid lane. Aurelia, okay. So we saw last game, Tilted being very dominant on that Morgana, not missing very many skill shots, and being able to take over the game with his team by his side and push on forward. Aurelia now being picked up in the second game, definitely something that Polar Ace needs to worry about. But what I like that Polar Ace has to go up against that kind of aggressive pressure is the Kindred. Kindred's ultimate, being able to keep her team alive for as long as possible, have that ultimate make them invulnerable for a little bit longer, and, you know, forcing the rest of the team to come closer together. And that is definitely in the favor of Fruition coming closer together. But at the same time, if Polar Ace, who seems like the kind of team that's going to play for a slow disengage kind of fight, will be able to use that ultimate to their advantage and slowly take down Fruition's front line and then make it to their back line. And Fruition don't have much of a front line here. The best you've got is your Aurelia and your Rek'Sai, and that's it. You have a lot of damage from Kennen, you have a lot of damage from Xayah. Rakan is going to be pretty squishy unless he decides to go for the tank build, but Rakan most of the time goes for more of those support items, and he can be a little bit tankier, but doesn't have the greatest amount of health, so he can get taken down pretty quickly. But as we know, the Lovers bot lane, they do have a lot of mobility to their name, so Fruition can definitely make this work out with ease. They've shown it many times before, and I love it when Now is not playing the tanks in the top lane, but you guys cannot see this, but it does look like to me that Now is going to be the one on the Aurelia, and Tilted is going to be on the Kennen. Unless they swap midway, and I'll tell you if they do, and I'm not very sure. But right now, it looks like Now is going to be on that Aurelia, and Tilted is going to be on the Kennen in the mid lane. Yeah, and very helpful tip there in the chat. I did not realize that, but I did know about it, but I forgot. Thank you very much for the reminder that Urgot can kind of be that game changer when it comes to a fight, because he can pull somebody out of Kindred's ultimate, taking them down, using the fear who's already still in the ultimate, and then being able to pick up more kills for themselves. So that is definitely a way that Polar Ace can use this to their advantage. Oh. Excuse me there. I'm just going to take a moment. All right, we have about 4 minutes until we get into this next game. I usually go on with Geiken about this and talk about what we have for predictions, but today, chat, I need you. Zonite needs you to know and needs to know what and how and who and where and what. No. Who is going to take this game 2 and why? I want to see some thoughts in the chat, and I want to see some hype in the chat on who's going to take this one home. Based on the way it's looking for me, I personally think that the side of Fruition is going to be able to take this one out. I do like their composition and how they're going to play this one. And I was wrong. It is now going to be on the Kennen and tilted with the Aurelia in the mid lane. And mainly just because of how they've been playing, I really like that. And then the Lovers bot lane is just that kind of dominant force to be that you need to be scared about and always needs to take into account when going into these fights. But at the same time, you got to give it to Polar Ace for their champion select here with the Urgot Kindred combo. You have the Urgot who can pull an enemy out of the ultimate, which is very good for them. You have the Callista Leona in the bot lane on Jack and Booper. Jack has been very strong on these aggressive early game champs, so I would not be surprised to see if Jack is able to pick up a couple of kills for himself in the early game, especially with that aggressive lane. And then Hey There Losers on his very comfortable pick in the mid lane. And, you know, Cassiopeia has a little bit of a disadvantage going up against the Aurelia, but at the same time, Hey There Losers is very well known for his Cassiopeia, and definitely something that Tilted is going to have to manage, which most of the time he's able to do, or all the time, to be honest. He does pretty well for himself. But nevertheless, these games can go either way. These games depend on how these players are playing today, how they're doing in the mind, how they are as a unit. So, Polar Ace maybe just had a little bit of a mishap in the game 1. They could completely turn this game around in game 2 and make this a game 3, make this go to a game 3 series. And I would be super excited to see that. Now I'm going to take a look over to the chat and see what do we got here. We got FE is so dreamy 2-0. FE 2-0. I think it'll be a tie. That doesn't make sense. FE Rek'Sai OP. Polar watches FE this game. FE because Tilted is my dad. How old are you? Ace 1-1. So we got a couple. It looks like we do definitely have Fruition a little bit higher here, but I do see a couple Polar Ace picks here. And, you know, I'm interested in seeing if Polar Ace is definitely going to be able to come back into this series and try to make this go into a game 3. Just because if they're able to, that'll be one of the first teams to be able to step up to Fruition's level right now, because Fruition being the #1 team in the Champions League right now and how dominant they've been in it really will make Polar Ace prove to the other teams that they are definitely a top team in this Champions League. Now the spectators delay is ticking on down for us, and we are going to get in to the next screen here. Taking one moment as the loading screen is going to pop up here. Now, because my friend Geiken likes to do this, and I love when he does it to get the hype. Here we go. Juju on the Urgot in the top lane. You got Bashan on the Kindred in the jungle. You have Hey There Losers on the Cassiopeia. Jack and Booper on the Callista Leona in the bot lane. And then on the red side, you have Now on the Kennen. Dorjin on the Rex side. Tilted on the Aurelia. And Loki Dosi and Phoenix Main on the Lovers duo, Zaya and Rakan. Now, it looks like the whole team of Fruition is going to try to make a play over here. Looks like they're going to make a play over here to the bottom half of the map. They could look for a pick onto Callista here. And now, oh, they do. Going to get the W on. Jack is going to have to flash away. And that is going to be huge for Fruition here. Going to be able to pressure the lane and take advantage of the fact that Jack now has no flash for 5 minutes. The scene has been changed. Relax. Relax, we're having a good time. Both teams now going to set up in the 5-man formation, making sure that the rest of Polar Ace is not going to be able to counter invade them. And, you know, Polar Ace actually did put a ward there, so they know Dorjan is going to start on the top side of the map. And that kind of information is going to be key here for Bashan to be able to take control of the jungle. Ooh, now we're going to see Booper have to flash away. He gets super low here. He's going to have to back. Yeah, that's the Rex size. Sorry. Yeah, you know, well, my settings, I like the characters' voices and what they say, so I tend to have that higher. But when I put all the master volume up high, it makes Rek'Sai a lot louder. So yes, that was Rek'Sai. Now they're going to go back and forth, a little bit of damage back and forth, and Booper actually just decided to pop all of his pots and walk straight to lane to make sure that he doesn't lose any XP here, but that is double flash gone on the side of Polar Ace. Jack and Booper have to play this back so far because Phoenix Main and Loki Dosi, they have all their summoner spells, they have the knockup, and they have the extra damage because of that Lover's bot lane, and Fruition looking good here down in the bottom half of the map. Phoenix Main jumping on in, does not get anything, but able to just jazz back away to his lover. Tilted's going to push on forward, get a little bit more damage onto Hey There Losers, gets him down to half health. Hey There Losers going to try to deal some damage back to Tilted. Tilted is going to be taken down to about, yes, down to half health here himself. Very good counter damage there from Hey There Losers. And now, Bashan is setting himself on the top side rush here towards the mid lane, and both junglers here actually making their way, and it looks like Dorjan might look for something. Stun does miss by Tilted. Hey There Losers is full health versus Tilted half health, and they're going to get a little bit more damage onto Dorjan, but not too much. Hey There Losers doesn't have anything really. Both mid laners don't have any more corrupting pots to their name, and now they're just going to have to play the waiting game, and looks like Kindred and Bashan and Dorjan are going to go back into their jungles and get the camps to the need. And, you know, Dorjan actually could make his way up to the top lane and get a gank onto Juju. Phoenix Main to jump on forward on the Booper. They're going to get the Ignite down. Heal is coming out from Jack, but it does not matter. They're going to be able to pick up first blood. Phoenix Main with that Ignite. And now in the top lane, Juju's going to have to flash away. Now with a nice stun. But Fruition picking up that first blood for themselves, getting this lead onto Loki Dosi and Phoenix Main. Slowly going to start that snowball. They're pushing it. They're getting it. Now Fruition just putting so much pressure on the entire map right now, and making sure that they have the control of the dragon. Tilted is actually pretty low with not much mana, and he doesn't have teleport, so he's gonna have to try to get this wave and then back pretty soon. Nice stun onto Booper. Booper's gonna get Phoenix Main down. Phoenix Main gonna take a lot of damage, but Phoenix Main gets very low, and Booper wants to try to get him. Loki Dosi gonna flash away, stuns him up, but takes him down. Bashan's gonna flash on forward to Loki Dosi. Can Loki Dosi pick up a kill? And no, that is gonna be double kill. Oh wait, the minion's gonna be able to kill Jack. That is a kill for Loki Dosi, but 2 kills over the side of Polar Ace. Nice counter engagement there, and Phoenix Main jumping in under turret and then getting stunned, taking, I believe, 2 turret shots there. Now Bashan flashing on forward, being able to pick himself up a kill here will just get him further and further into this game. And Dorjin has that early game champ on that Rek'Sai, but if you think about the late game potential or the mid game potential of Dorjin versus Bashan, it equals out there. In this early game, Bashan definitely will lose the fight against Dorjin, but later in the game, it will be in favor of Bashan. Phoenix Main is going to jump on in, but there is the rest of Polar Ace there. He's going to jump away back to Loki Dosi. Booper got very low, canceling out his recall, making sure that he loses as much experience and gold as possible. Very well played there by Phoenix Main. And yeah, look at the map right now. Fruition just pushing out every single lane, just taking full control of this game. And by pushing out the lanes like this, they're able to use that early game micro and macro play that they have, or excuse me, the early game micro play to their advantage, because they know, they knew originally that Jack and Booper didn't have the flash. They went in for those early game advantages, and now because of that, they're able to pressure on even harder. But Sean making sure that he can try and help Jack and Booper down in the bot lane. Jack's got to look for something very soon. He's got to try to get that early game lead with the Kalista, and because that's why you pick her. Ooh, nice knock up there from Phoenix Main. Booper gets taken down. And Phoenix Main's going to pick up the second kill for himself in this game. But in this early part of the game, it does not matter who the kill goes to, just because they're going to be able to push out this lane and get themselves a couple of plates. Tilted gets a nice stun onto Hey There Losers. Flash on forward. Dorjin picks up the kill. And there was no time for Hey There Losers to flash out. That is another kill for Fruition. All this early game pressure is just getting Fruition so much further in this game, further and further. Now Juju just trying to hold up as much as he can. He doesn't have that kind of range that now does, and now can sustain in the lane as long as possible because of that energy versus Juju's mana. And whenever Juju wants to look for something, he has to use the mana. It looks like the camera's trying to go back up to the top lane, but there's not much of a fight there. But Sean now making his way up to the top lane here. He is going to be spotted out by a ward. The control ward was put down, Tilted pressuring up the wave, making sure that they can get complete dominance over this dragon here. Now, Phoenix Main with the ultimate knocks up Jack. Jack's going to have to flash away. Booper's going to try to get onto Phoenix Main, but it doesn't matter. Flashes away, gets stunned up. And that is 2 flashes from Polar Ace's bot lane already gone just from the ultimate used by Phoenix Main. Definitely worth and what they needed. And now Dorjin being able to take away that stack from the Kindred, just hindering her advantage more and more in this game. Now Fruition is going to take control of that bot side, and Tilted did get pressured up by Hey There Losers, and Hey There Losers trying to get some vision for their team here on the bot side of the map. And Bashan's going to send himself down here on the bot side. He's going to take those Krugs and maybe look for something down here on the bot lane, because Booper very, very soon will get his ultimate. They know Phoenix Main doesn't have his ultimate right now, so they could look for something here with Bashan, because he does have his utility up for him. But right now, the rest of Fruition is going to make their way on over to the dragon here. That is going to be the Windrake. Not the worst Windrake to lose for them, but definitely something that can be strong. Tilted does miss the stun there. Hey There Losers using the mobility to his advantage, cutting that away. And Dorjin once again being able to pick up the dragon by himself. I think this is the 3rd or 4th dragon now in this series that he's even able to pick it up. Tilted going to try to go on for the Hey There Losers, flashes away from the ultimate, and so he's going to be able to get himself under the turret safely. And Dorjin picks up that dragon. Tilted didn't expect Bashan to be there, wanted to look for the kill on the Hey There Losers, but then has to turn it on around. It doesn't really do much for them. And Rek'Sai going to try to counter jungle. There's nothing there. They could look for a potential gank now, as Rek'Sai did not get shown by the vision. And Bashan here just staying in the mid lane. Tilted now doesn't have flash, and they can look for something else. Stun does land onto both of them. Tilted trying to run away. Bashan with the flash. Ooh, Tilted trying to jump on forward, and the ultimate comes down from Bashan there, and Tilted still gets taken down in the middle of the animation. Now, the Phoenix Mane's gonna jump in on them, burst down Jack. There is no chance. Phoenix Mane's actually getting pretty low there, but it does not matter. Booper is gonna be taken down by Dorjin. And now the rest of Fruition is gonna be able to push this bot lane turret, get plate after plate for themselves. More gold is just being funneled into Fruition, and just being able to dominate this game. Tilted did get taken down in the mid lane, and Bashan picking up a kill for himself, but at the same time, Fruition picking up those 2 kills and all those plates. It does not matter. The bot lane of Fruition, the jungle of Fruition, just dominating, and now being that kind of passive laner for his team, holding Juju up in the top lane hostage, not allowing him to help out whatsoever, is just getting that snowball lead that Fruition needs. Yeah, and this series is looking really good for Fruition. They've been playing this really, really well. Polar Ace trying to just hold on the entire time, but not many answers from Polar Ace when it comes to these objectives. Dorjin already to the next objective. Nice getaway there from now. Disdain does miss by Juju, and Dorjin is just going to be able to pick up this Herald for himself without any problem. And the kind of objective focus that Fruition is playing right now is different than what they did before. They usually do focus on that objective, but this series in particular, they are really focusing down on these objectives and playing this super well. And because they're playing these objectives and how they have these early game champions, they are able to force these fights and gain more of an advantage from kills, and then slowly making their way to the next objective and snowballing their lead more and more. Now Fruition gonna have Rek'Sai in the top lane. Maybe look for a gank here onto Hey They're Losers so that Tilted can get a little bit further into this game. He does have more CS. Dorjin now is gonna jump on over. He's gonna flash onto Hey They're Losers. Hey They're Losers doesn't have his flash anymore. He's gonna be taken down. Dorjin gonna try to get on the other side of the wall. Teleport is gonna come through from Juju. He's gonna use the disable, but now is there to help him. Tilted does land a stun, and Juju's gonna be taken down. Now Dorjin is gonna try to take down Bashan. He's gonna stay in the ultimate to try to make himself alive. Phoenix Man is there to help out his teammate. They're gonna get onto Booper. Stun does miss, but it does not matter. Booper's gonna be taken down. They want to get onto Bashan. Tilted now have to back off here. They're gonna be able to push out the mid lane. And the rest of Fruition just coming to each other's aid and being able to dominate this game. Herald is going to be popped in the mid lane. That is three people down on Polar Ace. And mid lane is going to be taken down here with the Herald. Get more turret gold for themselves and slowly make this series theirs. Super well played there by Fruition. Nice counter teleport there from now, and then Loki Dosi and Phoenix Mane walking up, knowing that fight would be a lot longer, and then being able to help out Dorjin get out of that fight and getting another kill onto Booper, Hey They're Losers, and Juju all being taken out in that fight. Now, Polar Ace, the only thing that they can do right now is just try to hold on. Booper is 1-4. You have Cassiopeia in the mid. You have Jack on that Kalista. They're 0-2, and they're just trying to hold on. They're struggling right now. And the Lovers bot lane looking great. Rek'Sai in the jungle. Dorjin looking spectacular. Tilted in the mid lane, playing super well. And now, he hasn't been able to show off his skill and his potential yet. But just a little bit in that fight, we got to see some of it, and it was awesome. And you know, Polar Ace right now, they need to make something quick. They need to do something that gets them back into this game. And Fruition's so far ahead, but they have to try something very soon. Bashan may jump over to try to get into the pit here. He doesn't have his ultimate, so it is very dangerous for him to try to do that. The rest of Fruition is still there. Hey, they're losing not there on the side. Phoenix Maid's going to jump on over. They know that Bashan doesn't have his ultimate. Leonard's going to land an ultimate onto 3, but it does not matter. Tilted wants more. He's going to try to go in. Flashes on over. Jack is getting very low. Tilt's going to be able to pick up the kill, but Booper is going to try to get a little bit of stun under the turret, but it doesn't matter. Phoenix Maid taking up the turret, getting very, very low. Gets himself back over. Torsion is going to get away. Yes, he is. Juju. Now, he does have his ultimate. They could look for something here. Hey, they're losers. Is on the other side of the wall. Gives a little bit of movement speed. Loki Dosi going to use the ultimate. He wants to try to turn this fight back around. He flashes away from it, but now Urgot is going to be able to use that to his advantage. They're going to turn this fight around. Hey, they're losers. Picks up a kill on the Tilted. Juju now going to flash away. Loki Dosi dealing so much damage. Double kill for Fruition. Fruition now, the Lovers bot lane is going to be able to push this bot lane and get more gold for themselves. Slowly making this game go further and further. Snowballing this game. And now is sitting at the top lane. He doesn't have the teleport. He didn't have to walk down to the opposite side of the map. Phoenix Maid jumps on forward, jumps on back. Loki Dosi is safe. Phoenix Maid is safe. They're going to pick up another turret for themselves. And then now is going to be sitting in that top lane saying, you know what? I don't even have to worry about it. My team's got this. I'm going to put the turret. I'm going to get more CS for myself. Fruition looking like one of the best teams in this Champions League. What am I saying? The best team in the Fruition. I'm all over the place. This game is insane. Fruition, the best team in the Champions League right now, showing why they are the best team. They have been playing insane. They are going insane. This game is insane. Best team in the Fruition. Something new. This game has been insane. Fruition just dominating this series at the moment. Now going to place himself on over. He wants to look for something onto Juju. Kindred is there on the other side, but now is getting very, very low. Dorjan was going to try to help him, but didn't get there in time. Now went a little bit of aggressive, and Juju's able to pick up a kill for himself. And now Fruition may look for something onto Hey There Loser. Dorjan makes his way on the other side of the wall. Realizes that Juju and Bashan are there. Cannot look for the fight once more. And now Fruition's just able to take control of this. Tilted sitting himself in the bot side of the map, pushing out the lane. They have so many players who can just sit in the side lanes and push this game out for them. And there's not much that Polar Ace can do. There's nobody who can contest the side lane pushes. Woo! Zon, are you okay? I'm great, man. This series is amazing. And that is why I am very good right now. But thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Fruition having complete control of the map. They have the objective lead. They have the gold lead. They have the kill lead. And they are just above and beyond everything right now. Their Fruition is so far ahead. And that kind of vision control that they have right now on this bot side, they're able to know where the enemy is at all times. If you take away where the enemy has vision, Polar Ace doesn't have much. And then when you look at Fruition, they have so much vision that they will immediately know where the enemy is. Like right there. Boom. We see a ping. You have Bashan locked down. The macro play from Fruition is insane right now, but Juju now wants to look for something onto Now. Now's going to try to turn this around. Phoenix Main going to get an ult onto Bashan. Bashan tries to get away. Does not matter. And Bashan's still under his ultimate. Juju's trying to get himself safe, but Juju is getting very low. Gets ulted on by Dorjan. Booper is going to be taken. Oh, no, he's not going to be taken down. Jack's going to be able to keep him alive, but that is a double kill for Loki Dosi. And that is a 4v4 situation there. And Phoenix... Fruition just dominating this game. Oh yeah, if you're talking about the FE and the ace on the top, that was a little bit of my bad. And I cannot switch at the very moment just because of how how OBS is working for me at this very moment. So I'm very sorry. That is actually swapped. Should be FE on the red side and Ace on the blue side for this overlay. Now Fruition are going to be able to pick up this next dragon for themselves. Polar Ace has to try to do something here. They have to try to do something to go against Fruition. And Fruition, we saw them 4v4 and they were completely dominant with it. And they know that Bashan doesn't have his ultimate for some time. If they want to look for a fight, they can without a problem. And Tilted can just keep these waves pressured. Now this can be very, very scary for Polar Ace, as the rest of Fruition is going to back off here and get themselves more items just to dominate this game further and further. Thank you, Dark Cat. Means a lot. Thank you. Now Aurelia Tilted is sitting up in the top lane. He is trying to set himself up possibly for the top lane push. And he knows that the rest of Polar Ace is there, so he doesn't want to push himself forward. Oh, the teleport. Teleport from the Kennen. Kennen's going to put himself in a bad position. Ultimate's going to come on out. Loki knows he's going to jump on in. They get a nice knockout there. Going to try to follow it up. Tilted is on to the Kindred, but it doesn't matter. He's going to use the ultimate. Oh, and a 3-man knockup. They're going to try to get more. Aurelia's going to be able to pick up the Leona. The fear beyond death. Juju's going to get one for himself, but it does not matter. They are going to pick up kill after kill. Another kill goes over to Juju. That's a double kill. Gusta trying to kite her way out of this. Loki Dosi picking himself up a double kill. And that is two. Oh my goodness, that is two people left on the side of Fruition. That is not how the fight was supposed to play out for them. Now putting himself in such a dangerous position in that fight. Teleporting in the middle of 5 members of Polar Ace. Almost getting themselves all killed there. But Loki Dosi now being able to pick up themselves the top lane turret and all 5 members of Polar Ace. Woohoo! Fruition with these engages are just insane. The way that they've been playing this game, the way that they have been able to dominate these fights are just outstanding. But okay, you have to give it to Polar Ace there to be able to turn that around. Fruition's now did get a little bit aggressive there and teleport into the enemy a little earlier than they wanted. But even then, they're still able to pick up the win in that fight. But if you looked how that fight went overall, Polar Ace was looking really good there. Juju picking himself up 2 kills, Jack picking himself up 1. And, you know, based on how that went out, if Polar Ace was just a little bit stronger, they would have been able to hold their own in this game. Now, Fruition gonna try to go for this dragon here, and Urgot is on the bottom side of the map. He does have his teleport. Leona's gonna get the ultimate, but it doesn't matter. Our Phoenix main gonna jump in on the back line. Booper's gonna get ulted away, and now gets stunned up by the Cassiopeia. Hey there, losers. Gonna try to get now. Now is using his stopwatch to get away, but the Urgot ultimate is gonna take him down. Polar Ace gonna try to move on forward. They know it's a 4v5 now, and they could look for this possible Baron for themselves, or even just get a couple turrets, get back into this game. Polar Ace slowly disengaging in these fights and making this game come back and alive for them. Pushing on forward, Polar Ace want this turret. They don't have the ultimate from Booper there. Booper didn't take too much damage from Loki Dosi, but it doesn't matter. And now, hey there, losers. We saw in that fight a beautiful ultimate by him, stunning up Tilted, and now getting now in a terrible position, then getting him killed after a couple seconds. Now tried to flash, I believe, flash away in that fight, and then got hit by the Urgot ultimate, getting pulled back by the fear beyond death. Now that all 5 members of Fruition are alive, they can look for this Baron play here, and the rest of Polar Ace are going to have to look for something here now. Now is trying to hold them on back. Booper is going to stun up now, and Phoenix Main is going to jump back over and misses the W. Booper is going to lock down Phoenix Main. The Baron is going to be secured by Dorjan. Now it's going to get a beautiful 3-mana stun. 4 kills. 3 kills over the side of Fruition, and now Dorjan wants more. He's going to ult down 4. Phoenix Main using the ultimate, gets 1 for himself, and Urgot is going to use Fear Beyond Death, gets a kill, but it does not matter. Fruition is so far ahead, they pick up a quadra kill. And that is an ace for Fruition here. Being able to just dominate this series, dominate the game. Fruition pick up this series. Oh, actually, you know what? They may not. They may have to back off here. This may have to do another fight. The rest of Polar Ace is coming up very, very soon. And this is not the end. Polar Ace still have a chance. But it is going to be very difficult. Fruition have the Baron buff. They have 4 members still alive for them. And they are able to pick up an ace from them, just getting their lead higher and higher. Woo-hoo! Georgian being able to pick up another dragon for his team. Once again, Fruition's objective control is insane. The way Fruition has played this has been amazing. Their micro play in the early game, their macro play in the late game has just been able to dominate the series. And you know, there's a couple of fights where we saw Polar Ace show their potential. They showed how they can come back in this game. But then because how Fruition is just playing and how far ahead they are, there's nothing that they can do. They just have to try to peel off, back away. But it does not matter when you have Phoenix Maid jumping on you. You got Tilted, you got Dorjan, and then you also have Now jumping on. It doesn't matter what you do. And then Loki Dosi sitting in the back line dealing so much damage. Woo! Nightfall now splitting themselves up. They're going to put 4 members on the top lane here and Tilted down in the bot lane. Juju's going to have to try to go up against Tilted, and that's the only person who probably can at this very moment. But it doesn't seem like there's much that Juju can actually do to hold this turret up any longer. It is going to be taken down, and the rest of Polar Ace just trying to hold on as long as possible. These Baron minions are too much for them at this very moment, and these turrets are just going to fall slowly but surely. And now Tilted's going on forward. He does get the ultimate on the Juju. Juju uses his ultimate. Tilted's going to go back in. He wants to try to get the kill, but so much damage from the turret. Juju's going to take him down. Tilted is gone. It is a 4v5, and the rest of Fruition is going to have to back off here. They cannot fight without Tilted at this very moment. What was Tilted thinking? Tilted tried to get aggressive there. He saw Juju use the ultimate, and then he tried to turn the fight around and said, you know what, maybe I can take this. Maybe I can try. And he took like 7 turret shots. So much damage. Tilted, you're not tanky, my guy. I gotta tell you, let me give you some advice. You're not tanky. You got a lot of health. I'm telling you, you got a lot of health on you. But you are not tanky. You can't tank 7 turret shots. That's too much for anyone except for Scion. Now going to put himself down in the bot lane. He does have teleport for his team. And so by splitting with Now on the bot side and the rest of the team going to be putting themselves in the mid lane here, it allows for Fruition to play. It allows for Fruition to play around one side of the map and keep that pressure. They have the mid lane with the super minions, and then now they actually all will be able to move down to the bot lane and be able to push out this bot lane turret. They have to worry about this mid lane super minions. Hey, their loser's gonna have to make his way over there because 8B champions do the most damage to it. And it looks like actually all 4 are gonna try to push this out to make sure that they could look for possibly the last fight of the game here. Hey, the loser setting himself on the other side of the wall. He does have flash. Tilted does miss his stun there, and the rest of Fruition is gonna back off, making sure that they don't take too much of an aggressive fight that they don't want here. And now the rest of Fruition are going to make their way up to the Baron to get some vision control for themselves and make sure, because they want their last bet here, or last hope here, is that they can get this Baron, turn a fight around, and be able to pick up the series for themselves. But Polar Ace, what they're trying to do, they're just trying to hold on as long as possible and then hopefully turn this game around and make it to where they can go on to a game 3. Baron buff is going to be up very soon. Dragon's going to be up very soon. Polar Ace is going to have to decide which one they're going to go for. And let's be honest, the obvious one here is they're going to have to try to do something against that Baron and contest it. Unless it is the Elder Dragon, I'm not very sure. There's a chance that Fruition actually go for the Elder instead, because the amount of damage that they have, the extra true damage, would give them so much of a bigger lead than Baron would when it comes to these fights. Because right now, this game is definitely going to end in a fight. It's not going to end in a kind of push where there's nothing that anyone can do. It is going to end in a fight. But it looks like Fruition is going to definitely go for this Baron. They're going to be able to burst it down. Loki Dosi is going to be able to do so much damage to it. And now, Fruition's going to take it with these. They have the Baron buff for themselves. They can push out this game. Try to take this series. Now the rest of Polar Ace going to have to back off here, try to get back to the base, and make sure that they can go against Fruition as they push out this top lane here. The rest of Fruition is ready to go. They want to look for something very soon. All summoners are up. This is the fight. Phoenix Man's going to go on in, and now a lot of damage, but it is going to be denied by the Kindred. Urgot's going to try to pull him out. It doesn't matter. FE tilted. It's going to be able to pick up 2 kills, 3 kills for himself. Now 4, can he get the Penta? Tilted's looking for the Penta. He wants it, and the Guardian Angel's gonna proc, gonna jump on forward, and Loki Dosi is gonna steal the Penta from Tilted. What a game by Fruition there, and Tilted is gonna be a little tilted at the end of that. Fruition do pick up the series and pick up the victory for themselves, but in the end, Tilted doesn't get that kind of Penta that he wants. We good. Woo! What a game. What a game. An amazing game there from Fruition. Amazing series from them. And very, very well played. Something you don't... Oh, hold on. Oh. All right, we're back. All right. Something you definitely don't see very often, the kind of micro and macro play that Fruition has been able to pull off is just been insane. Polar Ace trying to keep up with Fruition there and not being able to whatsoever, and just totally dominating this series. And I'm super excited for the next series and to see how it's going to play out. But looking back into this series, you just got to think, what team is going to be able to go up against this team? Fruition's now, Fruition's Dorjin, Fruition Tilted, Fruition Loki Dosi, Fruition Phoenix Main. So many good players, and you have a great coaching staff giving them the just extra I don't have the words. You know, that series was insane. Just the extra oomph. Yeah, extra oomph to be able to pull off these games, pull off the victory. So very well played, and GG to Fruition here in the end. Now we're going to go to a 10-minute intermission. It may say 5 just for a second, but I'm going to switch it and fix that for you. We're going to go to an intermission, and the next game is going to be Lakeside versus Cetra Gaming.
Yeah. Siege. Riley. Taz. Yeah. Set me free and give me death, there ain't no other choices. When I lay down to go to sleep, I keep on hearing voices. Little whispers in my head, man, is you fake or loyal? Why no water, death to sign a baby, pick your poison. These little demons living underneath my bed, creeping. Know the real monster lives above them all, sleeping. That subtle breathing in your closet every single evening. Thought you never see me again, looks can be deceiving. When they hear the sound of the drum, they'll be saying, oh Lord, here they come. Yeah, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come. I used to think that that people die because they wicked nowadays. People wanna see you dead because you gifted. Been ready for my tomb since I came up out the womb. So no matter what, I'm coming back and paying you a visit. Saw it coming, I predicted, but y'all wouldn't listen. No, you can't protect your riches if you never burn bridges. Flip pages, went places, made changes, still dangerous. Now I'm back, altercation, hold still. I make it painless how it feel, baby. When you say you love me, is it real, baby? Full speed, both hands on the wheel, baby. Young Taz coming from the Mobile, baby. You know the drill, baby. Yeah. And when you hear the sound of the drum, we'll be saying, here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come.
little bit of an advantage here. He wants to make sure that they can get the vision, and the hook lands.
It does. It's going to go on the tilt. He's in a lot of trouble. Kitty Guy's going to flash. He's fine for now. We're going to see the calling come out for Fruition, but it's not going to matter. He dashes out. We do see that Torsion gets hurt. Loki does see a lot of trouble. Tilted did fall at the end, but the ultimate came out, and it looks like Harry X is going to get himself a kill. No, Loki doesn't actually survive.
Fruition.
Going
And now he's going in.
Tilted flash. He gets the taunt down. Nurse is going to try to use any kind of barrier that she can get, but it's not going to be enough. The Just Punch does knock up Hero, and they're looking for the fight here. Nurse trying to get out of there. Stone Gates was use flash from Hero, but they're going to get one. They're going to look for the other. There's a chilling smite. Hero's going to get down. Double kill going over to Loki Dosi.
Bit of extra vision.
Ultimate. Going to use, yeah, it's going to hit on AK, but he's going to be fine. Use the quickness and the granite. Just gets a 3-man charm so far. Mango getting super low, but it doesn't look like any more fights going to have. Toad's going in. Drops trying to get the buff on himself, but he's going to snare up Indigo, but it does not matter. The Impale's going to be cleansed away. And now the fight's going to go in. That's going to be 1 kill going over the side of Cetra. That's 3 kills on the side of Cetra. No one's going to go down. They're trying to make something happen. Doesn't matter. It's going to be a clean ace for Cetra.
And essentially how they're playing this.
They're going in, looking for the fight. There's the Vanguard's dead. They're trying to kill. Oh no, but they're not able to get him. The taunt comes out. Sundilion's going to flash forward. He does freeze him up. He's going to use his zone. His heroic entrance is there. You see the J pops on Harvey. He might be able to be taken down. Finally, he is. This might be the fight they want. Moody's in there. He's using Cloud Gems. There's the stopwatch being used. Frieden's going to fall. Oh no, looks to be the next target. Meanwhile, we got Cerberus trying to push. He's doing what Tanzoni did last game.
Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back to the second series of the night. We have Lakeside Gaming versus Cetra Gaming. Gonna be, honestly, a great series. Lakeside Gaming has been one of those teams that has shown themselves to be definitely a lot higher tier of a team than a lot of us expected. And also, Cetra Gaming as well, being one of those teams who kind of just, they proved themselves to be in the mid. There was a lot of us who predicted them to be lower in the bottom tier. And now this game will define who is definitely going to be higher up in that middle range of the Champions League. And then slowly but surely they can make their way up. But right now, for this series, it is determining who is going to be that, I believe it's determining who's going to be third or fourth place in this Champions League. Now, as we get ourselves closer and closer into this game, I believe I am going to be joined by someone for this series, and I'm quite excited. I'll see who my secret caster who is going to join me is going to be. And as you can tell, I did have to take off my jacket. It's sitting right over there. It is so hot. I got too hyped. I got too hyped. I'm sorry, chat. I got a little loud. I got a little scary. There were some points where it was like, okay, Zonite, cool off. But it's okay. I'll rein it down. But just fair warning. If there's a fight, I'm going to break it down. Now let's see here what we got. Ooh, this is fun. But to make sure that we keep on focusing on this series, Lakeside versus Cetra Gaming, based on how Lakeside and Cetra Gaming has played, I'm definitely seeing Lakeside going to be able to pick up this series, but I think it's going to be a very close one. I think it's going to be a 2-1 series. I think Lakeside will be able to pick up the first game. They're going to Cetra then will win the second, and Lakeside will finish it off by picking up the third game. I think all games will be very close. I think that in the end, Lakeside will be able to be victorious in this. But I'm still overall excited to see how this game plays out and the rest of the series. Now, just a moment. We will be getting very close to seeing who the duo caster with Zonite is going to be. I believe they are trying to make their way to the arena, the Nightfall arena, and make their way to the caster's desk. And now, as we wait and get ourselves going, we're going to have a little bit of background music here, just to make sure that it is not too boring. Probably won't even be able to hear it. You know what? Let's just mute that. Never mind. Just cut. All right. In this series, you have really good players, okay? When you look at Lakeside, you have Ratload, you have Dark Cat, you have Patty's Wagon, you have Yuki Bunny, and I believe it's Visual. Then on the side of Cetra, you have Boom Hunter, Toads, Kessler, the Man is a Beast, and Indigo. 5 great players on the side of Cetra, 5 great players on the side of Lakeside. And, you know, Ratload has been that dominant force in the top lane, and then you also have Patty's Wagon, who's been a really dominant force for Lakeside in these tournament matches. So I'm excited to see how that's going to play out. And now, as we get into this series here, I'm going to ring somebody up. You may hear the Discord sound. Oh, you get nothing?
Hello?
Hello.
Am I live? Are we live here?
We're live. Welcome.
All right.
Welcome.
Let's go.
You have a camera, or are we just going to do this?
Oh, no, dude. I'm sliding in.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Let's see if my other camera screen is locked onto you. And yes, it is. But it does say Gaiken. We're going to switch that over right now. We're going to put it at Sir. What do you want me to call you? Max? What do we want? I think you're muted. Are we getting you muted? Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, there we go. We got some.
There we
sound.
go. All right.
What?
We're good? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What do we want here?
Max. Max is fine.
Max.
Sorry about that.
We got Max. Well, Max, thank you for helping me out here and taking over.
Welcome.
What are your thoughts in this series? You got Cetra Gaming versus Lakeside.
Yeah, I just so I'm not sure. I need to be invited to the game here so I can recognize the players. That would help me.
In-game name?
OG Swifty, and then Swifty. Let's go.
I think we got it.
I've not received an invite. Oh. Here, dude, what's your name? I can just add you.
Just Zonite. That's me. This is Zonite.
There we go. Okay. Sent.
That's just all me. Sir Zonite. Oh. Maybe the client's giving us a little bug here. I'm not getting anything.
Okay, hold on. I think I was spelling your name wrong.
Like that? There you go. Is that?
Yeah, that would help. That would help a little bit. Jesus.
Ah, there we go. All right.
Off to a good start here. We're giving the teams more time to prep.
Yeah,
So
we're a great start here. You know, we're
giving us the top quality preparation they needed to get into this high quality match. I'm hoping.
Yeah. And, hey, welcome to the Nightfall casting desk. How do you feel?
Okay, good. And I recognize all these players, so I'm pretty hyped to see this match.
Okay. So give me thoughts, because you said you recognize.
So I know I play against. So I'm the AD carry for Impulse Ghosting in this league also, and we play against a lot of the teams. And I've seen most of these players in solo queue or into other tournaments. So I'm pretty hyped. I think blue side, is that Lakeshore? Who's that?
Lakeside.
So I think their individual players are stronger, in my opinion, like at laning and mechanical knowledge of their champions. But Cetra, we played against them before. I think played better as a team. So that's, my opinion. So we'll see how it goes down.
All right, and now I don't believe you can see it at this very moment, but here I'm going to send it on over to you. That is the spectator, so you can see the pick and ban that has gone on. We did get ourselves a little bit delayed on that pick and ban, but However, you still will be able to see it and take a look at it. I believe that that band right there that you see, the white band or the blue band by LSG, is actually going to be the Jace.
Well, we have the star at Sonateric, first of all. I'm seeing that. Pretty hyped about that.
You know, we saw it. We saw it last week. We saw. I believe it was Cetra, or it was I think it was Cetra who played the Tarek Sona, and it wasn't the greatest. You know, it's something that definitely helped him in one of the games to come back and kind of go against. I believe it was Recon 5, but I think in the end, it's definitely something that they didn't show to be one of their stronger picks and kind of their duo in the bot lane. So I'm interested in seeing how that's going to play out for them. But based on the pick and ban, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, it's all about the execution of it because it's kind of a new strat. So a lot of people have not learned how to play. Because your AD carry, you think they would be a Sona god because they're all about playing mechanical champions, but a lot of them will just int on this lane because you don't play it like a typical bot lane. And then if it gets behind, it's so hard to come back with. I mean, once you get to the point where it's strong, you can just roll over teams in team fights. But if you screw up the early game, it seems pretty useless.
All right, and now Kale's going to be the last pick for LSG.
That's a good pick, I think, against it, though. It's good scaling, so.
Yeah, Kale definitely has the scaling over time and is able to do very well going into the later end of the game. Cetra Gaming now do have the last pick here, and it looks like they are going to grab the Kindred. Yes, they're going to lock in the Kindred here, and now this... You see here, everybody in chat, this is the final draft for Game 1, and it's looking pretty good. You know, I like the Braum Ash in the bot lane for LSG. I really like the Kale in the top lane, and then on the side of Cetra Gaming, I really like the Orianna and the Kindred together. Definitely something that I'm excited to see.
Aatrox is very good. That they have a good comp with Sonateric because you want to draft like team fight that can just get in and fight, and Aatrox can do that really well, backed up by the Orianna Ball. Seems like they're ready, so let's get this started. Backed up by the Orianna Ball and the Kindred ult, just when everyone starts to maybe start dying, you have Tarek and Kindred. It's going to be really hard for Lakeside to navigate a team fight if they're not ahead. So we'll see if they can do it.
Yeah, and now they are in the client right now. They're doing the pick and bans for themselves, and getting themselves through the client. We have about 5 minutes before, maybe even 6, based on how long the draft goes for them before this game starts. And based on what we see here and some of the players that you know, who do you think has this first game?
I don't know. I never like to guess on draft because it all comes down to execution. Although...
Come on,
especially at this elo.
Have some little bit of fun.
I'd say Lakeside will take this one just because I don't trust Cetra to run the Sonateric, as brainless as it is.
Okay. And you know
Almost opinion.
There's a lot of these bands that I do think are very, very good ones. You see the Aurelia, the Galio, Lucian Thresh being banned out, making sure that Yuki and Boom Hunter cannot have them for themselves. One of the bands that I was interested in was the Azir. I know he got a little bit of a buff, but I didn't think it was significant enough to where we'd see any kind of ban in the Champions League. And do you think that's just because Paddy Wagons is strong on it? Or do you...
Yeah. Well, you usually only ban Azir if people have proven themselves to be like a decent Azir player because... You're not really afraid of that champion if it's played by someone that's bad at Azir. And even like mid diamond and high diamond mid laners that are like good mid laners can be bad at Azir because the champion's pretty hard and somewhat different than most mid laners and how they play. So yeah, I would say Paddy Swaggin, if he is a good Kindred player or a good Azir player, I don't remember. I could look up his account and see. Or maybe he proved it in a scrim or something. You know, many things go into champ select. My eyes.
Oh, there's a bright light there. The pro draft has that white background. But looking at the rest of the pro draft, you have the Vel'Koz in the mid lane and Urgot in the jungle this time. We saw Urgot twice, I believe, in the last series up in the top lane. Both teams were able to pick it up for themselves. And it did show to be very strong on now, but on the other hand, on the other hand, for their opponents, it didn't seem to be something that looked very like a dominant force for them. And I'm interested to see how it plays out with Dark Cat. Dark Cat has been one of those players who is able to pull off kind of a different kind of jungler, and Urgot has been shown to be a pretty dominant jungler overall. But it depends on the player.
Of course. Yep. Like I was saying earlier, execution, and if he can pull off the Urgot effectively, it would be pretty good into this comp, because you have the ability to take someone out of Kindred R. Taric ultimate can do pretty good against the Urgot ult, but the Taric player has to be able to time his ult correctly, which is the whole point of his kit. So we'll see if he can do it.
Yeah, and now we are gonna have to wait 3 minutes and 22 seconds before this game is gonna officially start, and I'm actually going to take the time to quickly switch a couple things around to OBS. You will see it in the chat, but that is just because we're still learning here, still learning how to manage and work around these things. All right,
Of course.
I'm gonna have people.
So what do you think about in the meantime? What do you think about Kale, my friend?
Ooh, what do I think about Kale? I like how she feels in the late game. Definitely, one of the dominant forces if she has the right kind of composition with her. When it comes down to that early game, it really depends on how Cetra Gaming is going to prioritize their jungle pathing, and also how they're going to play it with Aatrox up in the top lane. Aatrox can be pretty dominant in the early game if you play it correctly, and I feel like with the Aatrox versus the Kale, definitely in the favor of Aatrox, as we all know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so if Ratload, and he's shown this many times before, that he can dominate the lane even though he is on a champion that is not supposed to whatsoever.
Well, look for K-Man on the side of Cetra. He cannot gank bot. Like, there's actually no point in ganking for Sonataric. Mid is very hard to gank with a Vel'Koz, so safe and has barrier. All he can do is farm his jungle and gank top. And if he doesn't gank at least twice and set Kale behind early, then he's just not playing optimally, because there's nothing else he should be doing this game. And if he does get Aatrox a lead, it's going to be really difficult for Kale to do anything for much longer in the game.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple of times in the Champions League, Kale getting behind, and it takes so long for her to actually be able to come back in the game and do anything at all. So, like you said, if the Kindred can play this correctly, make sure that she focuses on the Kale in the early half of this game, and get Toads even more ahead on that Aatrox, will be able to dominate this game for Cetra. And, even if Sona and Taric get a little bit behind, that's not too much to worry, especially against Ashe and Braum in the early game. They don't have to worry about too much. If there was something like a Pyke Lucian, which we saw last time when they went up against, or when they played Taric Sona, they went up against the Lucian Pyke, that was definitely something scary for them. But here, with the Braum Ashe, they can be a little bit more passive and just...
They can still play pretty aggressive. Like, this lane, while Ashe is pretty good for poke, she can all in extremely well with Braum. And if Sona ever gets hit by a Q, it's close to the same thing as like a hook or a death sentence from Thresh, because she'll basically die or has to burn cleanse. And even then, if she doesn't cleanse the stun immediately, she's just going to die eventually. So we'll see if they do anything with that.
Yeah, now we are 20 seconds away from game one of this series between Lakeside Gaming and Cetra Gaming. You have Lakeside on the blue half of the map, while Cetra is going to be on the red side for this first game. And, a couple of us predicted this game. I predicted it to be 2-1 to Lakeside. I definitely think this is going to be a very close matchup with how these teams have played the series. And overall, I think it's just going to be a very fun and intense series.
Let's hope so. Let's get the champion mastery here. See who we got. Oh, it's the classic 80 carry main on Sona when they're playing this strat. Has like 2,000 mastery.
Yeah, now as we take a look into the loading screen here, you have Kale in the top lane, or Ratload on Kale in the top lane, Dark Cat on the Urgot in the jungle, Paddix Wagon with Vel'Koz in the mid lane, Yuki Bunny and Boom Hunter in that bot lane with the Ashe and Braum. Top lane you have Toads on the Aatrox, the Man is the Beast on the Kindred, Kessler on the Orianna, Indigo, and Visual on the Sona Taric bot lane.
So if I'm playing for Lakeside right now, we're invading and we're getting vision on where this Kindred starts. So if they don't do that, I'll be pretty disappointed.
And with that call that you just had, Lakeside is pinging it. They want to look for an invade on the top of the map here against the Kindred, making sure they know where she is going to start. It does look like the Cetra's going to place themselves 5-man across, and the rest of LSG is just going to push on forward. Orianna's going to be the first one to spot them out.
She's going to see them and just hopefully dip out.
Yeah, there's no point for
Get some
her
good vision.
staying at all. But Lakeside will be able to get as much information and vision for themselves as possible. And now
And Cetra will trade with a vision of their own. Good play from them. And they're just going to go on back to their lanes.
yeah, they're not too much in the start unless they try to go for a potential kill. But as you said, vision for vision. And all you can do right now is just kind of wait, maybe get some vision for yourself at a minute 20 in that river brush, getting more more of an advantage for your jungler, especially for Dark Cat, who is going to have not too much trouble clearing out the camps, but if he does find the Man is a Beast, have a possible possible fight that will
You
be
okay?
bad
Need a water break?
yeah, dude. I don't know, man. You know, I'm a little congested, a little sick, got some allergies. I'm all over the place these days. And after that last series, I don't know if you were there for that. What? Woo!
Oh, yeah, I was pretty hyped.
We're all over the place.
I watched the last 2 games.
Yeah, you know, I'll get pretty hyped, but if I have another caster in the room with me, there's a chance that I'll just try to calm it down a little bit, not to burn their ears out.
Of course.
Oh,
Respect.
man. All right, now, based on how Urgot has had this, he started the blue buff instead of the red here. What are your thoughts on Urgot starting blue and then now rotating down bot rather than going up towards top lane? Because
the mark you see the mark has spawned there
yeah.
on the bot side, so he's going to want to just take that so Kindred doesn't take some greedy path and try to get both scuttles. She unfortunately got out RNG, but Taric might be going down here in the bot lane. Early Ignite dropped in. That's just going to be first blood, and the Braum passes this under the Sona. She might go down a really good cleanse. She's going to flash away, save a kill, but that's first blood.
Yeah, Yuki Bunny there flashes on forward to try to get something else, but doesn't get much. But he does get a kill for himself onto the Taric. Taric still had both of his summoner spells, and Indigo uses both Cleanse and Flash to get out of that fight. And now, because Braum has his Flash, they do have priority of this lane. Taric,
Yeah, you have to respect the Braum early game, like I was just talking about, because stuff like that happens. And now that lane, just like I predicted, if they don't play it correctly, they can get themselves pretty behind early.
yeah, now Kindred making her way into the enemy jungle here to try to steal the red buff from Urgot.
Yeah, and Braum's not there, so if Cetra threatens to come over, they should be able to get this, but we might have another fight if they decide to fight over it, both teams.
Yeah, Dark Cat realizing now this red buff is gone. He's actually not even going to
Oh,
try to
he's
look.
not even going to see.
Wait.
This is going to go down to Kindred. That's really sneaky coming out from K-Man. He is a beast with that red steel.
I think Dark Cat there at the last
Unfortunate
second
from
kind of realized that he probably was in the bush, and then it's
You
like,
hate
"Ah."
to see it. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. Now, because he was able to pick up the red buff, that is 2 red buffs over to the side of Cetra, and we'll be able to pick up his 3rd main buff here. Toad's dealing a lot of damage to Ratlow. Gets
Good
himself
trade
locked
up
down.
here. She might have to
Ooh,
flash. Yep,
forcing
there's the
that
flash.
out. Yeah, Toads with that early game aggression, using the extra damage from Comet, and knowing that Ratlow just he can't do anything here. He doesn't have that range yet. He doesn't have the level, and making sure that he gains that early game dominance just so that Ratlow gets further and further behind.
Yeah, and we see Kindred still not getting any marks, although it does take a while for her to get marks, especially in team play where they'll actually contest you. He does have Kindred marked, or Urgot marked, sorry, and we'll look to go in. A little trade going on in the ball lane, but nothing much doing. There already pretty happy with their first blood, so they can just farm it out for a while until Yuki gets a back off.
Yeah, now Dragon is coming up very soon, and looks like Setra's going to try to just pressure out the mid and bot wave to make sure that they have control over this river. But with Boom Hunter and Yuki pushing on forward, they're going to look for something else. And now
look for something, but he does still have the flash. I don't think he's going to be in any danger here. Should be able to take a good chunk out of him, though. So looks like Lakeshore is really putting on the aggression in this bot lane. They're not just sitting back and playing passive, which is good to see from a lane.
Yeah, and stop back there. Now Boom Hunter is going back
Oh,
onto
Sona.
the Sona.
She does have no flash. She could be going down here. Nope, she's just going to get out, but another Braum passive mark. And Boom Hunter's just playing this really well with his passive, but Yuki Bunny is taking a big damage from Sona.
Yeah, Yuki Bunny just trying to get a little bit more damage onto Indigo or Visual, but Indigo and Visual being able to turn that around. Yuki Bunny taking a lot of damage, but he still has 1 kill over and pretty decent CS lead. I actually, you know what? Because the way Sona
The Taric CS is
Sona.
early.
Yeah, so because of how that's equaled out, they actually do have about the same. And Kindred now pinging out a red buff, and you know Mountain Dragon is up, and that Mountain Dragon is definitely going to be key in this game when you especially when you have the Kindred.
Lakeshore needs to make a play around this because they are way better at this point in the game. Sona and Taric, I just called him Sarek. Sona and Taric are so useless this early, especially if Taric misses his stun, because then they don't actually do anything except a little damage and a little heal here compared to Ashe and Braum. So they should be able to get this dragon relatively easy if they just group up and establish vision, pushing the lanes. So hopefully they do that.
Yeah, and Lakeside now wanting to keep the pressure up. Vel'Koz is going to keep that pressure up. Toad's trying to get a little bit on Ratload. Ratload using
he has no flash, but
speed. But
yeah,
you could have Kindred making his way up to the top lane as well. And Dark Cat is on the top side of the map. They could potentially meet each other in the river here as the Scuttle is going to pop up very soon. Toad's making his way down, making sure he has vision of the Urgot possibly going for a gank. And you know, the man is a beast is actually setting himself up on the top side brush, and maybe he's looking for something here onto Ratload, just like you were talking about.
Yeah, hopefully this does succeed here. The lane will push into Cetra as it is, so if Kindred just waits up there for a bit, I think they can get a gank off, especially with no flash on Ratload. We'll see if they can bait it well, or if Ratload knows something's fishy going on, or not.
Yeah, now Ratload kind of playing forward. He wants that CS, and there is a chance they look for something very soon. Toads has his ultimate up. Braum is actually going to push on forward. They have her got down in the bot lane, flashed on forward by Visual. Indigo's, however, did not flash yet. Now she does. That is 2 flashes out of the side of Cetra just from
Good
the
play.
pressure.
Right when Indigo got his flash up, he had to use it again on Sona, and this makes the dragon fight even more free because no flashes on your bot lane. It's hard to fight.
Yeah, and I believe Kindred was just spotted now on the top side, so they can definitely go for this dragon with ease and have no problems here. She will get a stack for herself from that Scuttle in the top lane, but a Mountain Dragon over to the side of Lakeside is going to be huge.
I would say they can look to dive up here. Even with the Kale ult, Kindred level 6 and Aatrox level 6, they can dive this guy. And he has nothing else to do right now, so he should try to go up there. K-Man, that is, after they trade this dragon. Ratload could be wary of this because he knows Kindred's top by getting that mark, but the arrow going mid is going to hit him with the stun. Really good play. Kessler doesn't have cleanse. He's just going to sit there tanking the whole disintegration ray, but he's going to fire back with the shockwave and should be able to get out.
Very nice arrow there from them. Oh, almost gets stunned up, but now looking back at the top side, Ratload taking damage, being forced back. Very nice arrow by him, but also Kessler being able to use that shockwave to get himself out and alive, only having to use barrier, which isn't bad for him. And Boom Hunter sitting on a ward, and oh my goodness, Toad just keeps canceling Ratload back.
Luckily, Ratload is keeping up in CS pretty well, especially considering all these trades we keep seeing and how one-sided they seem to be.
Yeah, and Toad's really trying to keep Ratloads up here. in the top lane. And with Ratlo's not having his teleport and still being this low, it just makes it easier and easier for Toads. But ooh, nice trade there.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Ratload is only going to get stronger, but once Aatrox finishes his items, he has really good kill potential and also gets the flash out and might still chase this guy down. He has no mana to ult. That's going to be a solo kill coming out from Toads in the top lane.
Yeah, Toads keeps canceling out that recall, putting him back into the lane, and then being able to pick up a kill for himself.
Yeah, really good play from Toads.
And Toads knows now he doesn't have teleport, so he can pick himself up a couple of plates here if he wants. If he wants to.
Yeah, hopefully he does. He should be able to get one. Maybe he might just want to back off because he doesn't actually have vision on where Darkhat is on the Urgot, and he could be top, or top side if he would go for that greedy play.
Yeah, now many players in the game recalling, resetting, getting the items that they need for these skirmishes that will happen fairly soon, especially with Rift Herald being up. And now Kindred jumping on over. It did look like she was going to do the Herald, but now it just seems like she's going to get the scuttle.
Now she's going to get another mark.
Yeah, and get herself even further ahead.
How many is she at right now? She's going to be at 2. Not bad, not bad.
Nice. That's really good for the Kindred here and getting her one step closer. Now, Ratlo doesn't have flash here, and this can be really good for them. W does not pull him back, but Kindred is here.
Yeah, Kindred is here, and he does have the Divine Intervention, so he's just going to pop that and get under turret. But he has no flash and no Divine Intervention, so look for another gank or Toad's going for another solo kill. And the pain is being brought down on this ball lane.
Yeah, Visual taking a lot of damage there, but it did take a while for Yuki Bunny to do something. Patty's Wagon misses both his Q and his E.
We got a jungle duel going on. Kindred's going to go in, but he's going to take a ton of damage, but Urgot's going to miss the ult and is having to back off here. And does get out relatively unscathed, but we do have the solo kill, or the duo bot lane fight coming in bot lane, and the Terra ult's going to pop, and Sona and Terra are going to retreat here, but Ashe in the Braum passive doing so much work, but there comes the Sona ult coming down, but a two-man stun from Taric is going to keep them both alive, but here comes the Ashe arrow, it's still up, and that's going to be the kill, flashing away and healing, and another kill in the bot lane for Lakeside.
Yeah, very well played there, and now Kindred is going to be picking up that Rift Herald for herself, and if Citra can pick up this Rift Herald, it'll be helpful to try to get
Sona
back to
could
it.
die here.
Yeah, we could look for a dive here.
You need to
Bunny
play it
taking a
well.
lot of damage.
They're
Oh wait,
currently
Indigo
doing pretty well.
almost.
And they both live.
Wow, Indigo almost got Boom Hunter there, but still, Lakeside being able to pick up the
Oh,
kill for
Darkhat
themselves.
didn't see him on the rift the first time. No smite on Kindred. Questionable flash. And Urgot's going to steal it. Oh my gosh, what am I watching? He's just going to try to dip out of there. Is going to flip Kindred, but actually miss. Flashes away from the Aatrox. And Urgot is going to go down, granting another stack over to K-Man. Lost the battle, but did he win the war? I don't think so. He lost the Rift Herald.
Yeah, he did lose the Rift Herald, but he gave away a stack, and it definitely is going to be in favor of Darkhat on that Urgot with that Herald. But at the same time, still giving a stack and a kill over to Kindred just gets her further and further ahead, which is something that can be very scary going later and later into this game.
Yeah, Kindred's one of the carries on this team, so she does actually need the gold and the resources to be able to function in team fight. So it's good that she's picking up a kill at least and some stacks. And this plate is also good for Aatrox.
Yeah, next dragon is coming up very soon. And it looks like Ratload is actually going to swap with his bot lane. Yuki Bunny making his way up. Boom Hunter's already there. They could look for something onto Toads. And now that Toads
this is a pretty good play here. Ashe does have the ult to follow up.
Almost gets a stun. Ashe arrow misses.
Oh, Ashe arrow just whizzes by. You hate to see it.
Yeah, really wise of them to swap lanes here and allow for Boom Hunter and Yuki Bunny to push up the top lane against Toads, while Ratload can handle himself against two supports.
That's true. The Aatrox matchup was not fun for her.
Yeah, and because now Ratload is on the bottom half of the map, they can't really switch at this very moment, so they're just going to have to leave it at that. Toad's going to have to try to hold up as long as he can. He is taking a lot of damage. Moon Hunter is going to try to go in.
Oh, they are going to go for the dive here. Good Braum all coming out. The proc from the Braum passive is going to get it in the fadeaway volley coming out from Yuki. Very well played. And Toad's a little disrespectful to stay up there without his ult against a Braum.
Yeah, now because they got that kill, they can push up the top lane and get themselves another a turret.
Dragon Fiesta going on down here. Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I thought there's another portrait in the pit. It seems that it's just a routine take for Cetra. And the Air Drake is pretty good for their comp. Sona speeding everyone around.
Yeah, Wind Drake definitely going to help them out here. And flashes to cancel.
Oh, pretty what a play coming out from Visual. And he's going to pop the Targal, and they're just going to go in. Sona is going to hit him with the flash crescendo, but the Divine Intervention coming out from Kale is going to eventually go down to the Kindred, but a really good flash keeps her alive, and Tarek might be in some trouble here as the Urgot ult is going to drag him back. Infernal Chains going to take the kill. I don't even think that's the name of the ability.
It's called Fear Beyond Death, but
Fear Beyond Death. How do I not even know the Aatrox or the Urgot ult? Okay, clearly don't know the champion either. Okay.
Ash
But
Arrow did
don't
miss.
let my casting distract you from the fact that was a pretty good play from Visual, but really good from Lakeside to actually get out alive.
Yeah, and if you looked on the map there, you could actually see Yuki Bunny just used his ultimate down the bot lane river for a little confused for not really any reason in particular. So now that he does have his ult down, there's a little less chance of them to look for a play.
He was using it for vision.
Oh, right. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, don't doubt this guy. Come on.
Yeah, right. My bad. Yuki.
He did pick up the Executioners early, which is a sight to see against Sona and Tarek and Kindred and Aatrox. So a good purchase, I think, coming out from him, because it was going to be a while before Vel'Koz could get it, if he is even going for Grievous Wounds in his build.
Yeah, and with that serotonin, what
Serotonin? Are you saying serotonin?
No, Sonoteric. I skinned the mix up. The Sonoteric, because they both go the support items, they're able to pick themselves up something. But now Red
Oh, but we
Lotus
do have the
a little bit
TP
of a
play
pickle.
coming out in the bot lane. He is going to just get 3-shot from this Aatrox and the Kindred combo. And was that another mark to Kindred? I don't know.
I believe that was.
It was. And she's at 4 marks, so she does have the range increase now. Good on Kindred. Is going to allow her to pelt down the artillery on Lakeside with some long range, longer than he did.
Yeah, and with that, they're going to be able to pick up the top lane turret here. Patty's Wagon just trying to clear out the waves and push it on back. And Darkcat's putting himself in a dangerous position here. Nice
Yeah,
disdain.
he's a little too far, but a good disdain is going to keep him alive for the time being. Is going to pop the Urgot ult, and the Vel'Koz ult comes in, and he's going to pick up the kill. Really good play from Lakeside, as Aatrox might be in a little trouble here, but Ash is kiting back, but the Crescendo's coming out, and Sona's going to be the next to drop. Tarek's trying to run away. Divine Intervention's doing a ton of work in the back line, but the Braum passive is just doing so much work also, and that's going to be 3 kills going over to Lakeside.
Wow, Lakeside playing really well there, being able to turn that fight around. You thought that Dark Cat was in a little bit of a pickle there, and then
Really good play, yeah.
using the disdain to get out of that shockwave, and then turning the fight around, and Yuki Bunny dealing so much damage, and you saw Patty's Wagon's damage. It was insane.
Yeah, he melted the whole ult. Urgot tossed that ult out there. I'm like, this guy's so dead, but a little overextension, I think, coming up here in the top lane. The team is nowhere near them. Luckily, Tarek is not that good at chasing people down, but he does get the stun, but a flash is still up from Boom Hunter, and he might be able to get out of here. Oh, but the flash following it from the K-Man is going to take him down, and more people may go down because Oriana's up in the mid lane. Kindred's just going to do all the work herself. So many leaps.
Yeah, leap after leap. The man is a beast, just trying to pick himself another stack on the, from Braum, and another kill. It was 2 kills over to him right there, and now Cetra Gaming going to try to pressure on forward. They do want to get this vision here down on the bot side, as the dragon is coming up very soon, and then they do have mid lane priority at the moment, so they can get this turret for themselves and hopefully be able to get this dragon for free.
Yeah. Even though the fights haven't gone so well for Cetra so far, they're not that far behind, and their comp is just going to be so strong in team fights that they still are quite close in this game, in my opinion. And the fights are going to be close from here on out, I would say.
Yeah, you have the invulnerability from Ratload. You have great sustain, or the great protection, I should say, from Boom Hunter for Yuki Bunny, and then the fair amount of damage from Yuki and Patty's Wagon already being shown in those past fights. But like you just said, Cetra Gaming with that
Serotonin.
Sona Tarek bot lane.
Sona Tarek. Tarek Sona.
Definitely.
It's like a tongue twister every time we talk.
Yeah.
Lane.
I don't know. Well,
All these people playing these dumb bot lanes.
I'm just gonna call it Sarah from now
Oh,
on.
they might have a kill here onto the Orion, way too far up. But Sona is going to come in here, but the intervention is going to keep Ashe alive for the time being. The Vel'Koz ult's doing so much damage, and the Tarek ult's going to come down and keep Aatrox alive for the time being, but he actually does nothing and goes down. And this fight is just so lopsided right now, and Aatrox and Kindred are going to have to get out of here, but a good ability from Vel'Koz is going to keep him slowed. But they might actually be able to turn this. A ton of damage coming out from the Aatrox, and Kindred's doing what he can, but not enough. And Cetra is going to lose that fight quite handily.
Yeah, like I said, playing that well. The shockwave did land onto 3 members, and then the follow-up from Sona, but it wasn't enough. And Darkcat with the disdains are able to just cancel out that crowd control from Kessler and putting himself in a better position. And then we thought he was dead right away there, but the man is a beast. Jumped in, using the ultimate right on the edge, keeping him alive for just a little bit longer. And they did look for another engage with Toads and try to turn that fight around, but so much damage from Patty's Wagon there, and then Ratload being able to sit in the middle and just have the AoE consistent damage for his team.
Yeah, and the fight was not really good. Not really a good fight for Cetra. They were all kind of split up. They only got 2 people with the Tarek ult, but enough about last fight, because Lakeside's making a Baron play here. It's going to be at about 9k, but is dropping so fast due to this Mountain Drake that they have. But Kindred is coming around the side, might look for a steal. Aatrox is going to hop in. Does Smite, who does it go to? Why is my game freezing? But Ashe is going to end up getting it, but the Kindred does pop the stopwatch. The laser is shooting across everyone, but K-Man goes down. Intervention is going to keep Braum alive, and Aatrox is into passive mode, and he is going to go down as well on the backside. But the Orianna ult's being used at the very end of the fight for some reason, and that's going to be all she wrote for that very exciting Baron team fight.
Yeah, and now LSG being able to pick up 2 kills after that with the Baron, giving themselves more of a lead here, snowballing further and further into this game. And with Patty's Wagon 4-0-4 now, and he is down, I believe, 30 CS, which isn't too much of a problem for him just because of the kill participation that he's been in. And the rest of LSG, with this team comp, you have the front line with Darkcat and Boom Hunter, the great protection from Boom Hunter, and then the source of damage from Ratload, Patties, and Yuki is just outstanding.
Oh yeah, the Vel'Koz is controlling these team fights with the laser so well. Ashe is doing a really good job of staying alive and just dishing out the damage. And obviously Kale and Darkcat are no slouches either. And the Braum, Boom Hunter on this Braum has been doing so much work actually with his passive procs and his ults this game. Honestly, in my opinion, he is probably the MVP so far. Boom Hunter. These fights, most of these fights are not being won without him, especially in getting all this lane advantage for Yuki in the early game.
Yeah, Boom Hunter playing this well. Patty's Wagon sending himself in the mid lane, splitting up from the team so they can have 2 lanes being pressured at once. Toad's going to put himself over there. And so it is going to be 4v4 in the bot. 4v5, 4v4. Depends on if Toads is going to want to look for something here on the bot side. And yes, he is. He needs the World Ender.
Yeah, he is. He is going to pop the World Ender. Is going to try to go in, but flash away from Yuki. And it is just going to be nothing except the World Ender and the flash trade. Not that bad. However, Aatrox cannot fight at all without his ult. And Ashe still can fight without flash, especially being this far ahead. So
yeah, wow,
it's not that good of a trade.
Top lane though. And
oh yeah, she is going to teleport and take half her HP.
And it looks like 3 people are going to try to keep on going. Nice ultimate from Boom Hunter.
Oh yeah, we do have the fight going on in the bot lane. There goes the Tarek ult. Is just going to keep him alive, and they're just going to back out and kite the Tarek ult. And that's how you play against Tarek. And the re-engage with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Tarek's stun is going to stop him, but the snipe goes down onto Kindred. There come the Kindred ult, popping it, but there's the suck in out of the ult. Really good play from Dark. and the rest of Lakeside is they're going to win that fight so easily playing against this Serotonin bot lane. Just like I said, and I hope they would. And easy clap. That's all I can say.
Easy clap, and now LSG just pushing out forward. They want to take game 1 for themselves. Oh, Ratlow taking a lot of damage, getting down to 25% HP, but they still have the man advantage. Tarek and Jungler, the man is a beast, will be coming up very soon, just taking every inhib that they
Triple
can.
inhib. It's the triple inhib curse.
Ooh, the triple inhib.
Let's see what items they pick up. Take dragon when it spawns, and then get into the base. Well, let's see. Should they even bother taking dragon?
Yeah, at this point, it looks like LSG should really just focus on pushing out the game and ending, because you got 3 lanes pushing up with these double super minions now, as you can see, and this dragon, they can burst it down pretty quickly because of Ratload and Yuki Bunny with that Mountain Drake. But at the same time, like you said, is it really worth? Do they rather just want to push out a specific wave and end this game? It could go, yeah, they could do either one. Now, Windrake is going to be the next one.
Yeah, they're just going to burst it down and then get in the base and hopefully end this game within the next minute or so. Because if not, you're just funneling a ton of gold into this already really strong scaling team. Although the chances of them coming back are pretty slim, I think.
Yeah, now LSG. Ratload is a little bit behind, but he is making his way up. Super Minions pushing on forward, and Kessler's the only one who can really keep up with that damage, and Indigo's trying to, but he doesn't have really the items to do so, and there's so many minions at this point that the rest of LSG can just put the pressure with the Ashe and Vel'Koz with so much range. Oh my, so much damage on Indigo already.
There's the Sona. Behind on Sona, you have like 3 HP, but she is going to look for the Flash Crescendo. I don't know about that one. Kindred luckily does get the ult off before it goes down, but who did Urgot end up getting? Oh, but the Targal doesn't end up getting Sona. It does do a lot of work for the time being, but this fight is just so close, or so not close is what I meant to say. And Kessler, once again, not using his ults until multiple members of his team did go down. He's going to be thinking about that Orianna performance, in my opinion, and we'll go on to game 2.
Yeah, very well played there by LSG and being able to pick up the game. 19 kills to 7, 11 turrets to 2 turrets. Definitely showed as a dominant force here in the mid game and towards the later end of the game. But in the early game, it definitely was looking in the favor of Secha there.
Yeah, they had their own kills. They were staying in it, and they just could not fight in those mid-game, late, early game, and early mid-game team fights, where Lakeside was they are quicker and playing better, and just got an advantage that way, and it was not enough.
Yeah, not enough in the end for them to be able to do, or be able to defend and hopefully pick up the win for themselves. Very well played by Lakeside there. We're going to take a small break here and go a little bit into an intermission for about 5 minutes, and then we'll get back into this game 2 of this series here. And I'm pretty excited about this next game to see how it goes. All right, we'll be back.
you win with it, and then they have to ban it the rest of the series. But they did not win, so I don't think they'll be trying to play it again.
They could potentially look for.
I don't know.
I like the Lysandra. That's definitely something I want to see in this game, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get it.
Yeah, and they are going to go. Lakeside's going to go back for that first pick, Urgot and Braum. 2 strong picks that did really well for them in game 1. Neither of which banned away. Or taken. They went for the first pick Sejuani instead. Who knows? We'll see how the rest of the draft goes. CG's gonna lock in the Morgana and Orianna next. I was not too impressed with Kessler's Orianna last game, so we'll see if he can pilot it a little better this game. And Morgana is just really strong right now, so good pick.
Yeah, Morgana being a strong pick here in the Champions League, and also in any kind of play, the tier 1 champion that you see as support. And we did see in the first series, Tilted picked up Morgana and was very, very good on it. Something that we could possibly see here on Kessler or Paddy's Wagon. I'm also interested in seeing, oh, it does look like, I was just about to say it, Lakeside, they're going to grab Corky for Paddy's Wagon, because Paddy's Wagon has definitely been the dominant Corky player in this league.
Yeah, and Corky's really strong into lanes that are just passive farm lanes like Orianna or Lysandra, stuff like that. Because first of all, he can build Hex Drinker if he needs it. If he's like against a LeBlanc or something, that is just can't kill him once he gets Hex Drinker. And then he can just scale so hard. And he's a good pick with Braum too. He's definitely the best mid laner with Braum because it provides you with that auto attack, which is so good. And he just does a ton of magic damage with it, so he might as well be a mage.
Yeah, and you know, looking at the side of Cetra, I'm sorry if I missed this, but Cetra does have the opportunity to go for Caitlyn. That Morgana Caitlyn bot lane is definitely something that has been shown to be very strong, and I'm interested in seeing if they're going to pick that up, especially up against the Braum.
Yeah, it is pretty good, and good into Braum too. But when you pick it, you're basically saying, like, our bot lane is just going to be really oppressive, so come and gank us. And if they do gank them, or if they do shut them down, the Caitlyn just does not scale if she's behind. She's so behind on power spikes and everything. So she has to get ahead with it. And the Ashe is pretty good against Caitlyn, so it's not like an 80 carry you can just steamroll over.
Yeah, for sure, and it looks like that last ban is going to be Jinx. They're going to make sure that Cetra Gaming cannot grab the Jinx up against that Ashe, and it looks like Cetra's going to show the Caitlyn at the very moment, and they possibly going to grab it. Yes, they're going to grab it, and like you said, that against that Ashe Braum, it could be devastating for them.
Yeah, it could, and we're just waiting on their top laner. I would like to see an AP. Okay, I was just gonna say something with some more heavy damage, like a Kali or Vlad, because Ashe and Corky are both people that you can just get on the back line and really annoy, especially on Vlad. I'm liking Cetra's comp a lot this game.
Yeah, Cetra looking.
But I
right
do
now.
also like Lakeside's comp, so we'll see who they round it out with, their jungler top laner.
Yeah, and they could put that Urgot back in the jungle once again, or they could have it go up in the top lane instead. So maybe you could see a Rek'Sai come out, and the Yorick is going to be up there.
That is
so
the Yorick.
They're going to have
So
Urgot
they are
in the
going
jungle.
to play. I'm hyped for the Yorick. We'll see if they can use it effectively.
Yeah, and you know, Yorick can actually be a pretty good threat in the early part of the game against a Vladimir. So I'm interested in seeing how this fight is going to play out between Toads and Ratload. But however, both of these teams definitely did fairly well in the early game, but Lakeside was able to pull it off in the first game. So how do you think game 2 is going to go?
Well, based on, I'm just going to give it to Lakeside because I'm assuming they're going to play close to the same way they played last game. But Cetra is on a real, a standard meta comp with no Sonoteric, and we'll see if they are more comfortable on it and play better.
All right. And now we are waiting for the pick and ban phase to happen in the client, and then for the spectator delay to go on through, so we have a couple of minutes here to talk and converse with each other in the chat about how this game is going to go. In the chat, I want to see who thinks that Lakeside is going to pick up this victory and who thinks Cetra Gaming is going to pick up this game too. And I really like that Vladimir pick. You talking about it on how it can be a really good backline engage, especially onto Corki and Ashe, and somebody who's very immobile like that as the Ashe. And if Vladimir can get ahead, it can definitely be a game changer for them. And Cetra has a Morgana, which can be a complete game changer if she literally just puts the Black Shield on top of Vladimir.
Oh yeah, and look to see after what they need to do is, on the side of Cetra, is win bot lane and take the turret early, so they can rotate their bot lane up to top and just really pin this Yorick down. Because if they do that, then Vlad will have time to scale, because Yorick can run him down, and he is pretty susceptible to be getting killed. And if Vlad gets behind, then as we were talking about, the whole comp is just kind of does not do that much damage with Ashe and Ori, especially based on how they were playing last game, and the champions are playing against.
Yeah, and based on the way these bans have gone out, Cetra Gaming really want to make sure that Kale is not going to be grabbed again, because we did see last game how strong it was for them. But even with the... excuse me, I think I may have just pulled or unplugged something, so give me 1 second here. That's
No
awesome.
problem.
Awesome. Tell me, computer, what did I unplug? Give it to me.
Shutting down in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that would be a bummer. All right, with what I was saying. Oh, you can hear my fan. Oops. All right. I forgot what I was talking about. Okay. I think he was talking
We're
about...
talking about this game.
This-
Come on. What's going to happen in this game?
Well, I was talking about last game and how that panned out for Lakeside and how that could possibly go for them in this game once again. And with Lakeside grabbing Urgot once again against a tank this time, I'm definitely interested in seeing how the K-Man is going to play against Darkcat again on that Urgot, and with the Sejuani instead, rather having his teammates be more of the carry-focused champs and he being that front line instead. And also something else that we did see in the last game was Orianna didn't really have much to do with her team. And over the course of the game, it just kind of seemed like she was just getting a lot of farm, getting CS, trying to getting herself ahead, but then there was no...
She was not playing the fights well at all. She was ulting after her team had already just died. You need to be using the Ori ult to make an impact in the fight, not trying to just like, oh wow, I got 3 people at the end, dude. Look at me. Come on, why didn't we win that game? Why didn't we win that fight, team? Look at what I'm doing. Didn't you see how many people I got? No. But yeah, that's why best of 3, you can, if you think you played subpar game 1, you can show up game 2. And he's on the same champion, so...
Yeah, he's going to definitely be more confident this game just because you've already played it. But you have to think he's going against Patty's Wagon on that Corki, something Patty's Wagon has shown off to be one of his best picks in this league. And Corki can be a strong pressure in the early part of the game against many mid laners, but with Orianna and her passive, she can definitely counter against that. But it honestly could go either way. I'm kind of all over the place right now. My head is going crazy. There's a reason why they said, hey, get somebody in there with him. Help him out.
Hey, no problem, dude. I'm your Jesus. I've come to save you in the time of need and deliver you the word of the New Testament of how to play League of Legends by Max.
There we go. By Max.
Oh man, dude, I do hate the spectator delay. I mean, I know you gotta have it, but it's just so hard to just fill up stuff talking about the comps after we've been talking about them for 10 minutes. Just get us into the game, right?
Yeah, you know, there's sometimes where I wish where you could create a tournament custom match that would allow the spectator delay to be pushed down to a
Dude,
time frame.
you see this small? You think this small indie company could do something like that? Seriously.
Dude, I don't know. You know, with some of the money that I put in, I think they could, but
Yeah, you would think.
yeah, you know, we got 1 minute left until we get fully into this game here.
All right, I say Lakeside wins.
You say
2-0.
Lakeside 2-0?
I can go home, get out, collect my paycheck, and hit the town.
Oh man, you know,
We are getting paid for this, right? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I jest. It's a good gig. All right. I mean, the side of Cetra does have the ability to win this game. If they get ahead with Caitlyn, Morg, and Vlad, they're just going to run through these team fights, especially with all the CC they have on their team. Drafting Sejuani with no melee champions is a little questionable. They first picked it too, but, you know, she does bring her ult, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing that can happen, but still something they could have possibly changed or maybe looked for. But you get, with the Morgana being open, that kind of thing, you definitely want to grab her. And you said Lakeside's going to be able to pick up this game. I do have to agree. I think Lakeside is going to pick up this game. Not because of the team comp, but mainly just because of how they've been playing.
I agree, but like we said, it is a best of 3, and there's been many times when you just play a really bad game 1. And they did try Sonataric, so that they might have gone in with that strategy, and they're like, okay, it didn't work. We're playing for real game 2. This Wrath will be swift.
Oh, and I just figured out what cut out. That's awesome.
What?
My keyboard.
How do you unplug your keyboard on accident?
Because I have a HyperX keyboard. It's okay.
Sounds pretty good. Whew. I need to get me one of those. It just unplugs with the slightest breeze.
Yeah, you know, it's actually quite lovely. Yeah, HyperX keyboard, they do some okay stuff, and then their headphones are literal garbage. But other than that, we are into...
Hey, we're trying to get sponsors here. You can't be...
Oh, I
trash
mean,
talking.
HyperX is lovely, man. They're some of the greatest companies out there, and... Alright, I'm done. Okay, let's get into this game.
Enough shilling. Okay, yeah, we're seeing a 5-point coming out from Lakeside, or Cetra, actually.
Yeah.
Need to get in my head that they switch sides, but yeah, we'll see. Looks like we got a dance party going on up here.
Oh man, dude, that skin is weird.
Corgi, it's so good. They got the meow.
Not that one. The Yorick.
That one's so good. The sound effects are really annoying though. I will put that out there. If you're playing against it, seeing this Yorick just always splitting you with meowing kittens.
Yeah, that can get a little bit of a it can be a nuisance for you, and not much we can really say here. Both sides just gonna sit and wait until the minions spawn, get the vision where they can, and it does look like Cetra got a little bit of vision into the enemy jungle. Not going to help him out too much, but definitely
that
something.
word's kind of unfortunate. It might as well just go all the way and get it on the red side so you can see which direction he actually goes after that. But some huge damage coming out from Kessler. Already atoned for his sins of the last game.
Huge amount of damage. All right, now both sides. It does look like Urgot's going to immediately grab his red and go straight down to the bot lane. And yeah,
he's looking to take both scuttles probably, or at least take this one so he can get on this side of the map. Because Sejuani cannot fight him early. Cannot really fight him ever, actually.
Yeah, that Conqueror definitely is something that allows Urgot to skirmish. The man is a beast as much as he wants. With that Scuttle being down, Dark Cat's able to pick himself a blue buff, and now Sejuani realizes that there is no Scuttle there for her to grab.
Yeah, Dark Cat stealing away Scuttle has basically secured the win for his team, and is going to go into his jungle and finish up some mobs.
Wow.
I don't think these junglers are going to probably try to avoid each other, because while Urgot wins 1v1, Sejuani can just like CC him for a while for Vlad or Orianna to collapse, and then he doesn't want an extended fight, because that is what's going to happen. But the binding hits, but Braum will stand in front, and still a ton of damage on Yuki.
Yeah, nice damage on the Yuki buddy there. It was like a max range bind there from Vigil, and Urgot now just clearing out his jungle so fast, and they did trade Scuttle for Scuttle. Top lane Scuttle went over to Sejuani, bot lane Scuttle went over to Urgot, and you know, by taking that bot lane Scuttle, it allows for LSG's bot lane to feel a little bit more comfortable on the fact that
yeah, that is a good Scuttle. You're right. Because they were pushing up and they got the Scuttle, which basically means Urgot cannot, or Sejuani cannot gank through the river there.
yeah.
Oh well, I guess it would be. Never mind.
It would be Urgot. Yeah,
my
no,
brain is also just not working either.
no, but you were right on the first part. You just it got a little confusing. You're right. Dark Cat wouldn't be able to gank through the river if Sejuani got it. So very wise by her. Yorick getting on.
Pool's down. He might have to flash here when Urgot gets up here, but Urgot could follow him with the flash. He's going to hit him with the flash disdain, and the ton of bullet damage is just going to come out, raining from Urgot, and that's going to be the E flash to follow. Good play from the top side.
Yeah, and there was no vision on Dark Cat there, so Toad thought he was fine to just wait it out, and then realized at the last second Dark Cat was there, tried to flash on away, and still Dark Cat following it up with the flash disdain, picking a kill up for himself. First blood for Lakeside Gaming, and you know, definitely a good advantage for them getting the kill onto Urgot, and also allowing Yorick to reset back and get the item he needs, which is the Executioner's Calling.
Yeah, that is really good. Voice crack there. Yeah, that is really good on the on the Yorick, especially because it cuts out all of Vlad's annoying healing in lane, and it is going to allow them to gank that lane so easily, because Vlad has no flash now and doesn't have any healing now, and if he just burns pool, and even if he doesn't burn pool, they can still probably kill him.
Yeah, now Ocean Dragon. Ocean Dragon is up. Yeah.
And the Scuttle. Scuttle's coming up, so both junglers are going to be looking to secure that. Urgot has first movement, but bot prio, the all-important bot prio, is on the side of Cetra, and they're moving a little slow. Ash should have already been here. The Scuttle's going to go down to Dark Cat, who has no flash, but the binding's going to miss. Corki's here to back up. Unfortunately, Caitlyn did not come up and is now cut off completely, and Corki's just going to be able to get away. But they are maybe getting chased down here. I don't think so. But we might have an all-in up in the top lane. Vlad has no flash.
Ooh.
And there's a pause.
All right, well, I guess we're going to get a pause there. I'm not specifically sure. It does look like the jungle disconnected, so Sejuani had a little bit of a mishap there, and probably some internet issues, or maybe even a bug splat, because this little indie company can't even keep up with their client these days.
Yeah, and you want them to make a whole tournament custom game lobby maker?
Hey.
Good luck.
Yeah, you know, with those 4 workers, I bet they could do it.
Yeah, maybe. But Indigo, a little selfish player, did not rotate up in time to scare Urgot off the Scuttle. So, not really sure what's with that. Maybe they were mad after game 1. Some flame in the lobby.
A little bit of flame in the lobby, and they
they're ready.
Yeah, we're just going to resume this game here, and on the bottom half of the map, you have the Ocean Dragon up, like you just said, and Sejuani Urgot placing themselves down here, making sure that they could counter gank in case somebody is going to look for something. Sejuani's probably going to be the one to start this gank off first. Pings have come out from them. And, oh, nice. Ratload going in onto Toads. Almost locks him in the cage there.
The W barely misses. And Vladimir's going to dip away from that. And he does not want any part of this Urgot sucking him with that giant kitten.
Yeah, Ratload going to be able to pressure up the wave and then back, reset, get the items he needs. And Toads is probably going to lose a couple of CS here, as it is sometimes difficult as these champs under turret to be able to get it. Sejuani making her way over here in the bot lane. Urgot is topside, so if they do look for a gank here on the bot lane, they do have a better advantage. I believe Sejuani was just spotted down
here. Sejuani is going to come in time. A good Black Shield's going to keep Morg alive. She still has her Dark Binding and misses it, and I don't think there's going to be any action here. Braum still has Flash and just going to be able to get away. Not really well played on the side of Cetra. That should have been a free kill because they did not react to the Sejuani getting there and backed off in time, but no Dark Binding is no kill.
Yeah, I'm not specifically sure what Visual was looking for there. He misses the Dark Bind and they can't follow up. And Sejuani is still level 4. She does not have her ultimate yet. And Urgot is level 6 here. Oh, Patty's wagging.
Oh, aggressive Valkyrie.
Oh, wait, but top lane.
Aggressive Ratload. And Toad still has no flash. And there's the Urgot snipe. What a play coming out from Dark Cat. That's when you flash some mastery if you got it, buddy. Good play from Dark Cat and Ratload in the top lane. And they're punishing this Vlad. And I wanted Vlad to not fall behind, but unfortunately, he is falling quite far behind in this top lane. And this Yorick is going to be a beast with all this gold.
Yeah, and
same with Urgot. Urgot is up so far.
Yeah, and we know that with the damage reduction being taken away from Urgot, he can just sit there and gun the turret down with his own gun called Purge. And now that they know Urgot's on the top side of the map, Cetra Gaming is going to try to set up for another gank down here on the bot lane possibly, or look for this ocean drag pretty soon. Sejuani
should be able to creep down here, and they're going to ward it. Camera, go back bot lane, please. Braum has no flash, but another Dark Binding missed, but the Sejuani flashing to follow up with it is going to get the CC, is not going to be layered by the trap, and that guy might survive really. Oh, but it's going to get turned around by the Ash ult, and Morgana's going to have to flash away, and what a disaster for Cetra, but they deserve every death there.
Oh, nice.
Braum is still going. Really good ult. Is going to have to get flashed away by Indigo, but still might get chased down. Flash volley is going to leave him with 1 HP, and Cetra limps away, licking their wounds, and I'm not sure what is happening with this bot lane, but they're really, how shall I say, underperforming lightly this game.
Wow, Cetra Gaming there 2 times. You and I both saw that 2 times. Visual could have been able to help his team pick up a free kill, completely free. Boom Hunter and Yuki Bunny were really far ahead in this lane, and it was a free gank for the man is a beast, and he did follow up with a flash to try to get over and get the stun, and both binds missing. Losing them the fight. They had to back away in the first one, and then the second one, losing his own life because Yuki and Boom Hunter were able to turn it around. Super well played by Lakeside, but at the same time, you got to think if Visual didn't miss those binds, that definitely would have been very free for
And there's
Cetra.
just no excuses because you have Sejuani who has CC, and you're just missing both times, and you're trying to lead with it. So after the first time, just wait for Sejuani to hit her CC. Like, the Braum has no flash. I don't want to rag on the guy, but the aggressive Valkyrie coming in here with the package, and he's just going to dip out and push that wave, get some prio for his lane. And this is what I was talking about in Champ Select. If you pick the Caitlyn Morgana bot lane, and then you fall behind like this, then you're regretting it for the rest of the game. And your pride's hurting too, because if you lose lane on Caitlyn Morgana, you just got to think about your decisions for a while.
Yeah, and that Ocean Dragon is still up. LSG has priority over it with this vision control, and the Scuttle is coming up very soon for them, so LSG can slowly make their make the snowball and get ahead. Dark Cat now with the disdain.
That came in, has no flash, is going to get stunned upon here, but the Sejuani CC, this is what I was talking about, they are going to go on here, but a good flash is not going to be able to get the Fear Beyond Death going down, and Corki has no mana. What are you doing, bud? He's going to have to run away here, but Orianna should be able to chase him down, but Flash Barrier's still up, and directed cameras taking me to bot lane, where Morgana's barely going to live, and Corki does get out, Patty Swaggin with some good moves to get out and 1 kill going out to Lakeside, or Cetra, I mean, and they are going to get this scuttle too. And that was exactly what I was talking about. If Urgot and Sejuani meet up, if Urgot doesn't kill Sejuani, then he's going to stun him up and have the laners rotate down. And that's exactly what happened, and he died for it.
Yeah, well played there by Sejuani and Orianna. Corki plays himself in a bad position, but Toad's now getting himself in a real
He does not want
bad
this fight.
spot.
I don't think he wins. I don't think he wins this one. Yorick just going to pound him down. Luckily, Vlad should be able to sustain here, because if Yorick's not fighting him, then the Grievous Wounds aren't getting applied, I should say. And he is going to drop that pink ward to keep himself safe here from a possible dive. But this is going to be another plate going over to Yorick.
Yeah, and that's 4 plates to this Yorick. Super strong. It's so strong.
The cats are just beating him down, so he actually keeps getting the Grievous Wounds applied to him and can't heal. That's more annoying than I thought. Yorick just looks like really fun to lane against.
Yeah, and now with that pressure, he's able to, or LSU's able to look for something. But now
Morgana,
on the
a
bot
little
lane,
aggressive, does hit the binding, is going to follow up with the no soul shackles. She is not level 6, and Ashe is doing a ton of damage. They didn't even stack the trap on the Braum. I don't think, anyway.
Oh, they're going to pop
Urgot's
Herald.
up here, is going to pop Herald. Vlad has no way of interrupting it, and is going to have to flash away. That's going to be first turret going down. I don't think K-Man can do anything about it.
Yeah, and now Urgot walking away. Sejuani is on the other side of the bush, though. They may look for a kill onto Ratload afterwards, but it does seem like they're a little nervous about it. No, they are. Sejuani's going to try to get onto Ratload.
Urgot's up here. He's going to have to come down. He is going to forgo his Krugs and come in here, but the stun goes out and followed up with the Glacial Prison and followed up with the Orianna ult.
Oh.
There it is. Oh, he saves it for 2 people. Kessler outplaying me, and the Urgot's going to go down here. Maybe. Nope, Vlad used pool to get in range, couldn't follow up on that, but Kessler, well played, dude, well played. I'll stop doubting for this game. You're playing well. Oh, but Corky's here with the Valkyrie, and Vlad's just going to try to zone him out, but there comes another Fear Beyond Death on Dark Cat onto Toads, and that's 2 snipes on the same guy this game.
Yeah, this Urgot just getting stronger and stronger in this game, and Patty's Wagon actually playing a little aggressive here onto the Sejuani. Sejuani able to dodge it, but now she's going to go back in on
she's
Patty's
going
Wagon.
in. I don't know about that one, but is going to get away with the flash, and I don't think Patty Swaggin can chase him down. The Rockets are not going to do enough. And burnt flash for no reason, but didn't die, so worth.
Yeah, and Patty's Wagon knew how low they were, so he's going to go get some vision for himself and go to the blue buff. Boom, Hunter gets onto Indigo, but Indigo using the net, getting away, doesn't matter. And, Sejuani's actually just going to go to the bot side of the map to try to keep up with this Urgot CS. Can't even back here to get herself some health. And
Yeah, she fell behind quite a bit last game, so it's good that she's K-Man is clearing his camps more.
yeah, Dragon
But
is
not this
still
guy.
up. This is still the same Dragon. They have not prioritized this Dragon at all. They did get the top lane turret, so now Ratload can have a push freely on this top side of the map. And it does look like all 5 members of Cetra here are going to try to fight for this Dragon, and Yorick does have teleport to come and help them. Dragon is being burned down. Dark Cat is going to have to be ulted on. Oh, nice bind.
He's going to get binded, but a good disdain's going to keep him alive for the time being. But Kessler with the shockwave, rather, and is going to take Dark Cat down. And Yorick's not even going to bother TPing, just going to take that mid prio. And they do take an Ocean Dragon, which is pretty good against this comp, with the poke from Ashe and Corki into the late game. Not a bad pickup, and good bind, doing some damage, annoying Boom Hunter.
Yeah, and then being able to pick up that Ocean Dragon for themselves, and then also the kill on the Dark Cat. Dark Cat, I believe, had a bounty on himself because he was 3-1 there. And so it's going to help him out being able to pick up that bounty. I believe, I'm not sure if they had a bounty, though. And being able to pick up that Ocean Dragon, just like you said, against that poke composition, helps sustain throughout the game. And Cetra slowly are going to try to make their way back into this game. Dark Cat definitely has been playing it very well on the Urgot, but the Sejuani going later and later in the game is so strong, and she's sitting in the bottom brush looking for a kill.
Oh yeah, this could be a kill. A good Glacial Prison onto Wild Bunny. Did not flash it in time and is going to go down here. Not enough to get out, but Dark Binding going to take it, and Vlad is down here with the TP, and so is Yorick with his own legs getting him down to bot lane instead. And they are just going to look to push here. Yuki Bunny gets a little too far out with not flashing in time and is going to go down, and this turret might go down as well eventually.
Yeah, but Ratload just being able to protect that turret as long as
Yeah,
possible.
and blasting my ears with the kittens dying every time they go in. But not bad, not bad. And Cetra should be able to get this turret, which is a good swing of gold for them. And some tempo, hopefully to get some vision topside and pressure mid lane. But Dark Cat is going on here, is going to hit him with the Fear Beyond Death. And all Corki has to do is a lot of damage. Kessler is going to flash away, might go down to the Fear Beyond Death. Oh, it just expired. And that is no kill for Kessler today.
Yeah,
Still not dying on the Soriana, playing much better, up 30 CS, but we'll see. Look to him in team fights, and a pause.
looks like top lane Ratload is having a little bit of trouble, but now that Orianna doesn't have her flash, doesn't have barrier, and has to back here, and it doesn't seem anyone's around the mid lane at the very moment, Patty's Wagon can push this up, get himself more damage onto this mid lane turret, get some more gold for himself, and try to get back into the CS game against Kessler, because Kessler definitely dominating the CS game right now. And and
He is, but Corki is somewhat close to Triforce. That's a good spike for him. Ashe is strong, Urgot is very strong, and this Yorick is really strong, and will just be a huge annoyance in these split pushing side lanes, because Vlad cannot match him until much later, and I actually don't even think he can, because Yorick just takes stuff so fast by then. As we'll see, Exhibit A on this turret.
oh my
Oh
goodness.
my god. He's smacking it down, but his wife is getting smacked down in return. And he's going to be sad about that as he walks away.
Oh, sad little kitty. Alright, now on the top side you have Yuki Bunny and Boom Hunter pushing it out. Kessler trying to hold it down, and then Indigo Visual in the mid lane against Patty's Wagon holding up against him. And right now, Cetra's just trying to get back into this game. Like you just said, there's so many leads across LSG right now that the best thing that Cetra can do is just try to control waves correctly. Morgana, nice bind on the Patty's Wagon, but no follow-up is going to be able to happen for him. And with how Ashe or Yuki Bunny's been playing, it just seems like LSG has a strong favored in this ADC.
Yeah, but you can't put it all on ADC difference, because Visual has been playing like obviously worse than Indigo, although they've both been playing some poor matchups and questionable decisions with K-Man as well. He doesn't get a free pass in all this either. He had 2 ganks, so you got to put some blame onto the jungler if that didn't go well. But yeah, Yuki is playing well. The Caitlyn is behind by a little bit, and if you're behind a little bit on Caitlyn, then you're behind a lot on what you should be at, and to get your power spikes and be strong. That's not to say she's not going to be relevant once she hits 3 items, but it just comes a lot later.
Yeah, now Cetra pushing out the mid wave with both bot laners actually going to be in the mid lane right now, just trading back and forth. And it is wise to have the bot laners in the mid and kind of be the control over the map, because placing them on the side lane is different. But now Toads is in a bad position, has to flash away already.
He had to dip out of there because he cannot be near this Urgot. Urgot's up so much, but Morgana, very aggressive play with the flash in from K-Man, but the Braum ult's going to come down. Ashe ult also, but Braum could be going down here. Final hit as Ignite popping in the Tormented Soil might pick him up, but Morgana is for certainly going to get traded away, and Braum does go down in the end. A decent play from Cetra, but there's the Urgot with the Fear Beyond Death and the flash in. The chains are going to launch him in, and Dark Cat's so on point here, and a flash away also from Indigo, and Cetra picked that fight, but in the end, went 2 for 1.
Yeah, and Ratload looking so dominant right now. Oh, now Sejuani is getting focused down. Ratload wants to trap him in. Almost gets it, but it does not. And now top lane Patty's Wagon is going to be...
Patty's Wagon a little deep here. Is going to flash away, and honestly could still kill this Caitlyn, but Caitlyn's just going to dip out, and that's going to be a jungle for them, a jungle for Lakeside, bot Vision, and an Earth Drake. And things are looking pretty unfortunate after that last play.
Yeah, and LSG having Ratload on the Yorick plus this Mountain Dragon is going to be something scary, especially with how far ahead he is. And the rest of LSG
he's doing a lot of work on this Yorick and this Urgot. Urgot in 2 games doing a ton of work throughout all game. Dark Cat, pretty solid on this guy.
Yeah, Dark Cat playing it really well, and I will say Sejuani has played it pretty well, but there's a couple points where Cetra could have made some plays that would get them back into this game early on. We saw it a couple of times with Visual with those binds, and a couple of times where Toads could have just been able to back off in the laning phase and try to sustain, but both countered and taken out, and then Ratload, and now the bot lane for LSG is just so strong.
Yeah, and Vlad cannot be in a lane against Yorick for too long. Yorick will just take the turrets, and he cannot really team fight because he has no items. So they're going to be pretty far behind on Cetra here, and they should be able to just walk up and take Vision on the side of Lakeside, and then threaten Baron, and while Yorick's in the side lane, and that's how you move on with this game.
Yeah, Patty's Wagon on the top side of the map, pushing out the top lane while the rest of his team is taking control. They're playing that 1-3-1 right now. Sejuani does ult Patty's Wagon. They're looking for the
a good
kill.
ult is going to come up here with the shockwaves. Going to keep him back. He has no flash. Does still have barrier. Might be able to turn this here. And the Fear Beyond Death is actually going to turn it. Really good ult. And the Enchanted Crystal is going to get flashed away from Sejuani, who might finally get this kill. Is going to take it, but go down in the process. And that's going to be a Baron, while Yorick's still down in the bot lane. Really good play from Dark Cat again.
Nothing Toads can do here. He had the ult.
Oh, they're just going to go for the in-hit.
But the rest of LSG on the top side of the map pushing this out. They have Yuki, Bunny, Dark Cat together. They can just push this on forward. Boom Hunter being that front protection that Ashe needs. And they're going to try to get this inhibitor, Indigo, and Visual defending as much as they can.
I don't know why they didn't just take Baron. It's really questionable. I told them to. I guess they're not listening.
Oh, man. Hop over and say something. Just be like, yo, get Baron, and then hop on back.
Really, they got nothing top lane, and then they stole camp. So, really sad. I don't know what. They had Mountain, too? What am I... Ugh.
Yeah, you got Dark Cat on the Urgot.
I'm getting triggered from this
Yuki
game.
on the Ashe. That Baron was definitely free for them to grab.
They do have 5 Merc Treads, so they do not want any part of any CC on this... Or magic damage, since a lot of their damage is magic when this Caitlyn, until she gets some items. But does not make up for not doing Baron there, no matter what items you buy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, now Ratload making his way back to the bot lane. He's just going to sit there for the rest of the game. There's no point in him moving anywhere else at this very moment. And keeping Toads on the side of the map where he can't even do much himself and even help out his team at all will really make it difficult for Cetra to look for any kind of fight, because right now the Urgot, Corki, Ashe, and Braum are just so much stronger against the other 4 of Cetra, and the vision control for LSG definitely higher for them right now, gaining what they can against this, or around this Baron buff. And now Cetra's got to decide, do they want to try to help out their top laner against this Yorick, or do they want to have to try to contest against this Baron, which is going on right now?
Yeah, the Baron is going down. It's about just dropping so fast. I can't even say a number before it's wrong. And K-Man might try for a steal here, but it's a suicide mission for sure. They do actually have the TP coming out from Toads, and no Yorick TP to follow. Good Glacial Fisher or Sejuani ult to get Corki out of here, and they're just going to surrender control of this Baron pit for the time being. They did burn the TP and lost nothing for it, so LSG got what they wanted from that, and that's another free turret for Yorick.
Yeah, they burned the teleport from Toads. Ratload is going to get it back very soon. They pick up a turret for themselves in the bot lane. And now, Yuki Bunny still has his ultimate. And if they... Oh, wait. The rest of Cetra's getting behind them.
Oh, yeah. This fight is a complete shutdown there. Really good flank. I wasn't even sure what they were doing because I was too dumbfounded by how good it was. And I guess that's the correct term for it. And good play. And they are going to go Baron after taking 2 people. And Yorick... TP, but he is just going to be taking the inhib meanwhile in the bot lane because Vlad cannot do anything about him. And I wish the camera would go back up to Baron Pit, but that fight is pretty interesting bot. And Yorick is going to be going down, but it doesn't even matter because the fight is starting up here. Glacial Fisher misses. Corki doing a ton of damage, poking them off this Baron, is going to dodge away from the shockwave. They're all getting low. Baron's getting low. They need to go in. Braum is here. stand behind Braum, but the really good Glacial Fissure. I keep calling everything Glacial Fissure, but Braum stands in front of him, blocking it, and Sejuani ult's coming out. Ashe ult comes down, hits no one, but Yorick is finally here with the TP, and he's doing so much. The Baron did go over to Cetra, but it doesn't matter as they get wiped afterwards, or not wiped, but most of the Baron is gone. But they did get the Baron off the map, so two people still have it, maybe three. That was a wild fight.
Yeah, and the two people who
Wild
saw
Baron.
Baron will be able to help defend their base at this moment. Infernal Dragon will be easily taken by LSG right now. Boom Hunter now looking on to Toads here. Toads having to use the pool to get away. Phase Rush has been procced already, and LSG, they can just decide which lane they want to look for. They have bot lane being pressured by the super minions, and with how strong Yorick is, they can decide where they want to look on this map. And the only thing that Cetra has to their name right now is this Baron buff. They have the Baron buff to help them defend.
Baron
but that's
buff's
it.
pretty good though, so it's, and like I said, they did get it off the map, so there's no Baron buff coming in at them for a while, and they can scale up. Caitlyn will probably be 3 items next time they fight, and they still have the CC. Merc Treads don't actually just remove CC, so they can still make plays, and as we just saw, so I think Cetra can still do something in this game, but they're gonna have to play really well. And Vlad going for an item. I'm not sure. He needs Void Staff. He doesn't need this.
Oh, nice arrow.
Oh, good arrow. No Black Shield. And that's going to be one dead Morgana in the mid lane.
Yeah, she didn't expect that. She didn't expect that arrow coming from downtown. Yuki Bunny landing it perfectly, and now the rest of LSG want to end this game off as a 2-0 victory for them, pushing down in this mid lane. So many traps they're blocking by Caitlyn, but they still have the pressure on the bot side of the map from those super minions, and are going to make their way to the top lane. It is a 4v5, and it is going to be so difficult for them to defend. LSG,
yeah, they're not even
bursting
defending
it down.
It's just dead instantly, and they're going to go mid now. And, oh, nope, they're not going to go mid. They're just going to dip out through top lane. No Baron up, though. Can't really get anything.
Yeah, not too much for LSU to look for there, but they still do now have the top and bot lane pressured by these super minions. They can make their way to mid, pressure that out, and hopefully an objective coming up very soon for them. Because LSG, since they're so far ahead, they have the Mountain, they have the Infernal, they are definitely have the priority in this game.
Yeah, they do. They are going to lose one turret mid, so good gold going over to Cetra. And what I'd like to see Lakeside do to close this game out, or try to in the meantime, because they are getting scaled against, is send Yorick in bot lane, the rest of the team goes mid, and it's a small split push since they're already, Cetra will be forced back into their base, but it brings people away from the mid turret so they can threaten to dive or just take the mid turret. And then look to threaten triple inhib.
Yeah, Urgot now just taking all the CS that he wants, and Kessler knows that they're not a lot of damage to Stain, giving him the extra shield just to get away. And now the LSG can just push out this mid lane and don't have to worry about their top or bot. And they're gonna send Ratlow down there on the bot lane to help with that pressure, making sure that there's always 2 lanes pressuring the enemy base at all times. Baron buff, I believe, is down at this point, so all they have left is the damage that they have on all they have left to defend is the damage that they have.
That is true. Well said, Zon. Well said.
Well said. I skipped over my words there twice.
Yeah, it happens to me too.
Oh, man.
No problem, no problem.
All right, well, now...
But, yeah, York is down here in this bot lane, like I said, and they can't really pressure this turret as well as I thought they could, so they are just farming up on the side of Lakeside, skipping around the map, you know, not being in one place for too long, pressuring these waves. But Caitlyn is 3 items, Orianna's almost 3 items, Vlad is on a 3rd item, not that effective item, but still an item, and you can take what you can get at this point. But this Yorick, you just can't even stand up to him. But Braum is going to get Sejuani stunned, but no ult coming out, and Yorick's just making this guy pool, get out of here, he's saying, but he might be a little far up here. Is going to take this inhib, but probably going to go down for it. Ooh. The rest of Lakeside's coming in, but a really good stopwatch is going to actually keep him alive, and now they're looking to fight, but a two-man Shockwave coming out here. Flash away from Braum, flash in from Caitlyn, is going to take it up with those crits and those headshots, and Morgana's here, throwing a bind into the wind, as per usual this game, and they're just going to go back to farming here, but one kill is fine because you alleviate some pressure that you're feeling and allow your carries to get some more items for this Baron fight.
Yeah, now Dragon is going to be spawning very soon, so LSG can just pick that up for themselves, or they might have to reset here, and Darkcat is going to get himself in a bit of trouble here, flashing on over into the Dragon pit. But now this Dragon is up, and possibly Cetra could look to grab this for themselves, and then Baron is coming up very soon, just like you said, so definitely another Baron fight for us.
They are just going to give it up. Probably. They don't have Braum here, and Braum is a good part of their team fight. And it's going to be a good Earth Drake take. That takes balls to get out of your base when you have 2 inhibs down and go take a dragon. But they knew Lakeside was having to back, and they get the dragon, which will allow them to have some more Baron pressure and end the game faster if they do manage to get a one-team fight. They can transition it into a win game thanks to their buffs.
Yeah, nice Ash arrow.
But the arrow another time onto this guy without using the E from, and Caitlyn's gonna get caught up. He has no flash either. Oh, this Morgana gets caught again, leading to 2 kills. Oh, and the Sejuani's getting caught by the Yorick cage, but they are just gonna dip out of here, and they have to give this turret up, which leads to a triple inhib. We'll see though. They might try to fight this. I don't know. Oh, they are just gonna peel off and go to Baron. I guess the wave clear is too much.
Yeah, and you know, you got 2 picks. Why not? They did it they tried last time pushing it up, and it didn't really work out for them. They had a better opportunity to go for this Baron, and now they decide, you know what?
They can still get this Baron. It's going to go down. So 20 can't even get there. Or can she? Nope, she's not.
And now they can just turn on around. Morgana is back up. 10 more seconds for Indigo, but it doesn't matter right now. LSG, they have the Baron. They want to look for the push. Oh, actually, they're going to reset here, I think.
Yeah, they should. They have a lot of gold. Get elixir, get stopwatch if you can't buy an item.
Yeah, it looks like the rest of LSG is actually going to push up while Ratload is back at base, and he may just teleport. He's waiting for the teleport. Yeah, he's going to teleport down to the bot lane.
Get some pressure. Baron Yorick can end the game in like 10 seconds, but Vlad is looking for the flank here. Is going to... I don't even know what he got his ult on. I can't see with that skin, but a ton of damage coming out here. Actually doing a ton of work in this fight, and Sejuani's going beast mode in the backline, just protecting everyone. Vlad goes down. Yorick's going even more beast mode, and this fight's actually getting turned on by Lakeside. They have a ton of damage. This Yorick is doing so much. Orianna Shockwave misses. He used it after everyone died already and didn't even hit anyone, but the Yorick snipe, and he is as the quadra kill. Could be the pentakill for the Yorick. Ratload's going it, and that's going to be the pentakill going out to Ratload on the Yorick. Absolute beast in this game. What a fight there at the end. Not actually that close, or not actually that one-sided, despite being up Baron and about 8k gold. But in the end, was not enough. And really good play coming out from Lakeside. The pentakill, and that's a 2-0, and wow, I'm pretty hyped about it.
What a way to end the game for LSG. Ratload being able to pick himself up a pentakill in the final game of this series. And, you know, today has been, man, it's been quite the day with these 2 series. And, let's get it back on you. Get this focus back on you. There we go. Both series were phenomenal. Fruition played super well in the first series. In the second series, we saw LSG had a little bit of trouble in the first game, but then was able to pull it off over time and really dominated that late game. And then in the end, in this game, it did look a little bit slim there at that last fight, but then Ratload just went beast mode, as the chat and you said, beast mode, and was able to give himself a pentakill. Very well played by Lakeside there.
It was.
All right.
I'm going to have to give the MVP to Ratload on that second game, I will say. Braum got it game 1, Ratload game 2. Good play out on the York. He was up like 5,000 gold. But I will say the Urgot got him that far ahead. Some really crazy snipes in the top lane, leading to Rift Herald and taking all the turrets. So well played. I will say Cetra did also look pretty weak in game 2. Some bad misplays early that led to just getting outplayed, and a lot of gold for Lakeside that maybe could have gone the other way.
Yeah, for sure. And that is the final series of the night. Thank you all for watching and joining in. Please come back on Wednesday to join us once again for the next series here. And also, we're going to have one series on Wednesday and another series on Thursday. There was a little bit of an issue with timing. So now we will have 2 more days of Nightfall Champions League this week, and I hope you all can join us. Thank you all for watching, and thank you, Max, for joining in on the second series with me.
You're welcome. It's good to be here. See you, dude. Good night. Good night, chat.